FM.
No need to remind me, because I am here and I am apparently GMing this thing. Why didn't anybody tell me that? Oh, right, I did. Sulfur Winter, Survival Winter, the role-playing game, Intermission. This is not book 1. This is not book 2. It's between the two.
This is our own shenanigans.
Yes, exactly. You can start your own exactly that, and you have already plenty of them.
We're so far off script, it's great.
Right?
Oh, yeah. We're just going to write our own book at this point.
it's like the script writers. Yeah, I'm just trying to catch up there, but that's fine. This show is rated R because there might be a war crime or not. We have, yeah. They're contemplating it. Oh dear. I think that's all I have to say about the rating, isn't it? Yeah.
They're rated R for war crimes.
That I don't know if any of you have watched what is it called? The Expanse?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that show's great.
It's a lovely show. I won't spoil anything in that case, but I think Goat will agree with me that things that happen in The Expanse can definitely happen here. I mean, when we were talking about war crimes, so that's where my mind went. So yes, let's introduce everyone again. That would be Steph first.
Have you you haven't hit the record button, have you?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm Stephanie. I play Eldrida da Vumbra. I am the moral compass of the group somehow, but I'm basically a hippie witch, like Pathfinder person, and somehow is becoming a swordswoman. We don't really know how.
It just kind of happened.
Just kind of fell into it.
Yep.
I am Harsamina. I am playing Nefria da Kolhalla, and I am a Trinsmyran freedom fighter, possible war criminal, and
To be determined.
small-time commander, as it turns out.
Definite war criminal. Definite.
I am Goat, and I am playing Sifanu da Krimbydh, and I'm the disgraced doctor turned necromancer who turns out is really good at making stuff blow up too.
Yep.
I'm the infamous Rob. I get to portray Sir Artegue da Fontra Cilor, who's generally involved in trying to keep all of these people alive from people who are trying to kill us. But it's been a lovely intermission and a vacation so far because it's really just mostly us wholesale slaughtering other people. It's great.
It's so much better.
It's way better to be on the slaughtering end than getting slaughtered.
Who can argue with that?
Laughter without slaughter.
Who can argue with that even? Yeah. I don't know who can argue with that, to be honest. That's powerful stuff. Anyhow, yes, so why don't we summarize what happened last? I'm not going to give out any fate dice for this time because the chalice is empty.
Oh, shenanigans happened.
Yes.
So, shenanigans.
So many nanigans.
This is what happens when I'm not here to tell the party no.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
You would have been proud of us, mostly.
No.
we showed true resilience and we accomplished an awful lot, starting with very little. So I mean, all right. So last time we were on Clustanova, which I'm assuming you recall. We learned that Hilder's daughter had left with the sulfur convoy and is now working for a noble in Tresilv. Let me see here. Nefria we started a rebellion and freed Clustanova from the Trachorian Empire. Whether or not they wanted to be freed. Oh, I'm sorry?
With minimum deaths. I mean, there's only a few.
Yes.
It was a bloodless revolution. You'd be proud of that.
Apart from the guy that Artegue exploded.
Well, you know, everyone's got to have one.
I've had a lot.
So first, Nefria went and found those 20 Reavers who were attached to the garrison, and she kind of established herself as their
Pack leader.
alpha. Yeah, she's now their new pack leader. And the old pack that was attached to the garrison is now attached to Nefria's Reavers. So now we have 30 Nefria's Reavers. She managed to skillfully and only slightly profanely convince Master Curious that he needed to lend his master swordsmaning skills to this rebellion because, otherwise a lot of innocent people could get hurt. We convinced Hilder to run interference for the rebellion and try to keep the townsfolk on side in exchange for, as Goat mentioned, our minimal amount of deaths. Gouzier was, of course, totally down with the rebellion the whole time. Coincidentally, sorry, I skipped something. So then we destroyed the Trachorian garrison. Some of them got dropped under a mountain. Some of them got lost while they were scouting. Some of them got conquered at their headquarters, and the rest of them just, got conquered as they returned to base. Artegue did, in fact, explode a guy, but we had like 130, 140 some odd prisoners after that. Something in that range.
Well, most of those came from...
like 50. The other 100 we got from the ship, which we haven't even got yet.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
All right, so we got 50 prisoners from there. Thank you both. That we promised Hilder we'd take away and not slaughter, per se. So then one of the Queen of Salt and Spray's ships arrived with 2 Mauger trading vessels. We made to welcome the pirate at the beach friendly, and once the pirate captain landed, and we made it quite clear that he and everyone he brought with him were either corpses or we could make some kind of a deal where they just stood aside. And they went back to complete the rest of their contract by messing with the restless on shore and, absolve themselves of responsibility. We conquered and looted, we took the 2 Mauger ships and their associated ballista, which was good because a carrack of garrison troops was showing up the next couple of days. So we kind of home aloned a plan to destroy a carrack with 2 lightly armed merchant vessels. Eldrida actually made a whole series of wildfire potions, but could never quite get the recipe right.
Excellent.
Not a single one of them was a clean success.
How many fate die did I spend, guys? Thanks.
Oh, you're fine.
You spent one of ours each time.
Yeah, like we contributed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't just trading.
I have a question regarding the Mauger ships. What happened to the Maugers? Did they just let this happen?
We'll get there in a second.
Okay.
The whole thing.
So then we ended. With those, Sifanu animated one of the Trachorians to go row out to the carrack in a boat and smash the slightly defective wildfire against the hull repeatedly. And then Sifanu employed his Carcomission symbolism to inscribe great runes of force into the 2 small ballista that we had. And then we sank a carrack.
Yeah, we did.
They didn't. The skeleton kind of killed himself with the 3rd bottle of wildfire, but that's okay. He was just a skeleton. He was trying.
It was a lot of fire.
So
a lot of fire.
The Maugers, if I recall, by and large, we took to the Mauger trading house, which was in town. And it's interesting you bring that up because I glossed over that. The townsfolk own that trading house now. It was transferred to Rurik's control through completely legitimate and legal means.
Under the new laws, completely legal means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New government.
Yeah.
Are the townsfolk pleased with the results of this? Like,
I
Some of
mean, some of them definitely, and by some of them we mean Gouzier and Rurik. Some others might not be as pleased. Certainly not Hilder. But Nefria did an excellent job of rabble-rousing, which is, of course, her job. So the enthusiasm was palpable and contagious. It was. She managed to direct the mob. That's what we're saying. She managed to do exactly the thing of just rallying everyone and make them rise up against. Yeah, that's what she did.
Free from Trachorian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
So they were still highly enthusiastic about all this, and singing and dancing in the streets, and now we're free for the first time in 30 years, and all that. And Nefria has a hero's farewell when you leave. Yeah. You know what? I should probably give you all a point of reputation for all of this.
Woo! That'll sit
I do
nicely
not
next
want
to
any
my-
reputation. I do not.
By association.
No. I would just like to be quietly on the sidelines.
Sorry, you helped us you helped us down a carrack full of Trachorian troops. You're in it now.
No.
Most-
I made you wildfire potions. I did not do anything else. I did not know what you were going to do with that.
To be fair, most of the soldiers on that ship survived. That's why we have 150 prisoners.
This is absolutely true. And one of those questions for you is, what do you do with the 150 prisoners now that you have them? Last time we talked about just dumping them into the ocean, but apparently there might be some opposition from Eldrida.
Yeah, we're not going to wholesale slaughter 150 people who are otherwise surrendered and not fighting. Like, no. So can we ransom them? Can we get something out of them?
We can totally ransom them. I presume military ransom exists here, Mikhail.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I assume we can ransom them. If you want to talk about ransoming them, the most valuable ones are probably the officers that survived. And we can hunt around to see if anyone's got like a noble signet ring or some crap that makes them more valuable than a normal private.
That would be the officer, probably, yeah.
I never thought if there's like an
nobles-
8th kid or something in there.
Yeah, no, there might be one or two, but yeah, the possibly captain and possibly a couple of lieutenants, right? But
I mean, you have to. I imagine that most of the folks there, especially the lower ranking individuals, they may have very well just joined the military to serve get a pension for their families, basically and send money home. I doubt that they're Trachorian.
Sounds like a collaborator to me.
Oh my God. I'm just saying some people are forced into service because, they have no other alternative, or they see it as a good opportunity to get out of, whatever they have. And I suspect that most of the commoners here are not zealots in support of the Trachorian people. They just trying to live their lives.
Yeah, basically it, yeah.
That's undoubtedly the case, but I mean, they're leading their lives. That brought them to here, and if
This isn't made.
like, I'm willing to let them live their own lives and suffer the consequences of their own decisions. But the problem with trying to ransom all of them here is that I don't believe we have the food to feed everyone on a 2-month journey across the ocean.
It's 1 month, really.
1 month.
And
Excellent.
we can't leave them on the island.
Nope,
Out.
we said we wouldn't.
We could take them back to Majora.
Well, I've got my cruiser hovering over an island that we could have easily passed by. We could have just dumped them there.
Yeah, about that, Briar is the only person left of your expedition. Parima will not go on the ship. She's staying on Majora and taking care of her.
We did try to bring her along, though.
Yeah,
but
she belongs with the ice. But Briar is a person who is with you, and he can tell you about things like geography, because he knows everything about everything, as we all already know. I am not going to use one of my fate dice for this roll, because I'm getting skimping. And...
budget.
Yep. Oh, really?
This budget.
Apparently he doesn't know anything about those islands. Sifanu, do you wanna? You are
Sure.
not a scholar as such, but you took the basic courses at university.
You've seen a map.
Have you seen a map? For once, Briar's encyclopedic. That's silly. Why? But I don't have so many. Okay, good. Sifanu saves the day.
I don't get tired of hearing you guys say that.
Yes.
It
Often,
happens
apparently.
so often.
Those islands, Orgin and Anorgin, are where the blue-skinned ice barbarians come from, and this archipelago here is definitely under their general. So going there increases the risk for being attacked and swarmed by potentially cannibalistic pirates.
Yeah, and I believe that I
intensive.
have a note here that says Ogren barbarians possibly working with or for the Shagulites.
Yep.
Oh,
yep,
they're 100% working with them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
There were like squads of them outside the Iron Tower.
Yep. So this is literally where they're from. So.
Well, if no one minds, Artegu's just going to veto that as a drop-off spot. I don't really want to sail into ice barbarian land.
Isn't Trachoria trying to wrest back control of Majura?
I mean, the Karak might have
Assumably.
been a sign of that. Yeah, like it was packed with soldiers. It was basically so there were about 100 soldiers on Clustanova when you got there. The Karak would have added another 200 or so if they had survived.
I would like to drop off the soldiers there then. Just take them back to Majura, drop them off, and let it be what it's going to be.
Well,
Let them get eaten by the undead.
all right.
Well,
so,
either that or they, fight on behalf and rally with the locals or whatever. I guess the
locals
locals
were
have all
evacuated.
left. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a concern with that maybe Sifanu can weigh in on as the master of knowing all things. So if we just feed these Trachorians to the restless army, knowing that everything on Marjura rises again as a default at the moment, Sifanu, is there any chance that they get to like if you were the ancient undead king leading an army with this powerful magical effect, what do you suppose the odds are you could draw from the knowledge of the people who you've raised? See what I'm saying? Because I'm kind of concerned that if we feed them all these Trachorians, then they're going to know all these things these Trachorians know. Because I don't think that the evil necromancy end game was take over this tiny, small, icy island, and that's it. We win. We'll stay home for the rest of eternity.
Well,
Game over.
no.
Yeah,
I mean, I do think
would
that
say
Ice Island was... I'm sorry, go ahead, Sifanu.
Yeah, that is the legitimate necromantic concern. That, not to mention, we're just adding another 150 soldiers to this guy we're eventually going to have to deal with.
Yes, well, I'm not copacetic with committing war crimes.
Well, we're looking for alternatives here to try to please Eldrida.
Let's have a look at, because we have maps and stuff, don't we? I have a ship. A ship map.
Excellent.
No, that was not the ship at all that I was looking for.
I hope not, or we're in trouble.
I have a different ship. There we go.
What are the stores on the ship that we took? We don't have enough to cover the
So-
troops?
Oh, okay. I'll have to fix the thing again. I always forget that. There we go.
Well,
Now you can see things.
But
There we go. So, yeah, it's a Karak. You could put them in the hold, I suppose. They will be packed like it's a caravel. I'm sorry, not a Karak. They will be packed like sardines in there.
Do we have people to actually man and pilot the ship?
Yep.
Well,
Muggers,
we
folks.
shanghaied the crew that was on the ship when we took it.
Yep, because otherwise you can't sail it.
And the sailors are not Trachorian military?
Nope.
This is the merchant vessel.
Ah, that's right. Okay. Well,
So they are Mogger merchantmen?
Yep. Let's see now. I'm looking here. If you even can squeeze 150 of them in there. You probably could. Like, the hold capacity is 86 tons.
Just to throw into the hopper, we are also considering killing the Mogger crew once we get where we're going.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of a clean getaway.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I didn't make an appropriate character for this party.
Well,
I
we've
think
got
we
to sit.
did. Otherwise, we'd be doing very awful things.
I was like, this is the situation we're now in, and so I suppose we'll see if we can even fit 150 people on this ship, or if we have new problems. We could just make them fight themselves until there are only enough of them left to fit on the ship.
Oh my god, what kind of barbarism do you practice in Fontra Cilor?
We could throw most of them off and just keep the 50 that we said we'd take.
Let's
What?
see now.
Nefria, what is wrong
Those
with
ships-
you?
Could carry
What's
up
the
to,
officer?
Both the ships.
What was that, go?
Here we go.
Why don't we take both our ships?
No, sorry.
I think we left one to the Moggers.
Yep, you did. Yep.
Yeah, we left them with one of their ships, I suppose.
Oh,
You
where-
could take both, but that's going to
Where's
piss off
the
the
Moggers
Moggers.
going afterwards? Like, they did their drop-off. Where are they going?
I see.
Well, they can risk a solo travel back, and that's on them, or they can stay and help rebuild society amidst the undead.
No, I think Vemsica's ship will take them back.
Oh, there is that pirate ship there still. Yeah, I forgot about them.
I mean, if nothing, even if that wasn't part of the original deal, it'll be part of the deal once the Moggers are done renegotiating.
We could just send a bunch of the soldiers with the other merchant ship, couldn't we?
Yeah, the useless low-ranking puds.
Yeah, we'll keep the ones worth ransoming, and all the guys that are like, man, I just signed up for a paycheck. They can go on the Mogger ship and be their problem.
I mean, I would be fine with keeping the officers here and dealing with them via ransom or whatever kind of bonuses we might get, and then leaving the common frontline infantries and whatnot here.
We can't.
And why?
We said we wouldn't.
But the Mogers would probably take them.
That, like, if we can arrange for the Moggers to take them away, sure, but we can't just leave them and assume something else works
Well,
out. Because
if they don't take them, then the Moggers don't get to keep their boat.
Well, okay, no, so here's
I
the
think
thing,
that's
though.
perfectly
Here's the
good.
thing, is that I don't know that anybody is going to be taking these soldiers, because if we put 100 and some soldiers back on that island, there is a chance that they will destroy the self-governance that we have established there.
They'll be
point.
unarmed and without any kind of commanders or functioning order hierarchy.
Yeah, but they're all tyrants by nature.
That's not no. No.
All right, but no, we're not leaving our problem behind us and sailing off. It's our problem. We're going to deal with it one way or the other.
Well, we're not throwing 150 people overboard.
That's a solution to the problem.
I say we take 75, we force the Moggers to take 75, and what the Moggers do with them is the Moggers' problem.
Did we get a yay or a nay that there was enough food for these people?
I will say that there is enough food for these people. Like, they had to transport food up to Marjura for those 300 soldiers, and that no longer are there.
Yeah.
Now, they weren't planning on bringing all of those soldiers back home again. So, but on the other hand, you have the Moggers. They have their warehouse. If you plunder that in a very, or I mean, expropriate that properly, then yeah, you will have a very, very heavily loaded ship. I'm trying to find data on how how many people you could take on a caravel. Everything is saying like 50, 60 tons. I don't know how that much that translates to.
What does that translate into people?
Yeah.
People plus food
Some as
plus...
large as 60 tons, 160 even. So for larger caravels, which I would feel like this probably is, because you have to go such a long way. And some are saying about 50 passengers, so you should be able to grab half of them at least. So that the idea of half your ship and half of the Moggers, that should work. It's not like the Moggers are gonna argue with this group at this point, because there are so many very persuasive arguments in the forms of spears and swords and axes and whatnot from among the locals.
I can craft another one of those ballista and make sure the Moggers are like, yeah, you're going to do what we say. Or else we're going to hit you in the middle of the ocean.
Yep.
Oh, that makes sense. And we can trade the 75, or we can trade those 75 prisoners to the Moggers for food to feed those prisoners from their warehouses. And then when they take them back to the Trachorian Empire, they can sell the prisoners, and we will have transacted business.
And their ballista.
We want their
Oh,
ballista?
Yeah. Well,
Why
yeah,
wouldn't we have two
we don't want them
ballistas?
to be able to shoot back.
Oh, well, I assume. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't state that right. I assumed we had their ballista.
Oh, I see.
I can't imagine why we'd want to go to one ballista when we could have two.
Right.
Well then, okay, so that would leave us with 75 approximate, and that 75 would consist of all of the officers, effectively, or anyone of noble breeding.
And then if we can, I suppose, since we're cherry picking our 75, Mikhail, are these all ethnic Paratornans, or
No, it's a diverse. Like the officers are Paratornians, yes, for the most part. Maybe some of the non-commissioned officers, and then it's a mixed lot, really. Anyone who wants to take higher with the army, it's mostly from the Empire. So you can have some folks from Palamux, some from Sifanu, one or two Trinsmyrans. Oh yes, traders. And there will also be folks from far away, like from beyond the Empire, taking higher, just to earn a buck.
So can we fill out our 75 with the aforementioned Paratornian officers who are worth moolah just on their own?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna guess, and feel free to fill in somewhere here, guys, but I'm gonna guess we'd like to grab any Cargamishans, Trinsmyrans, Palamuxians, and then fill in any of the remainder with women, and that checks all our boxes.
I mean, women doesn't really matter to me, but how about like the kids, if there's any like younger 18.
All right, well, I figured you might want to like try to deprogram them from Trachorian norms or something.
Well, certainly there is that, yes, but
I added the women just for you. I wasn't even thinking of myself.
oh, how nice of you.
For once.
For what? Wait, you weren't thinking of yourself, really? Okay.
No, it was a second thought. The Palamuxians were there for me.
Yeah, that sounds good, Rob. That sounds good. I'm
You-
sorry. It sounds good, Artegue.
I
Is that
guess you guys will be sleeping in the cabins then, on the second deck, and the forehold and cargo hold will be filled with prisoners.
For the record, we are vastly outnumbered on this boat, so I recommend we all do like share a cabin together and like at least stay near each other or work in shifts in case they do decide to do something stupid.
Eldrida? I thought you'd never ask. After all these weeks.
I recognize that you'll sleep with just about anything. I'm just not interested at all.
I understand, but I want you to know I've been with women who don't bathe all that often before. It's not a problem.
You made the chorus line stronger.
Just because I prefer the natural environment does not mean that I do not bathe.
I'm just saying, I've seen you not bathe for, quite a stretch there out on a glacier where it was very cold. So.
Samesies, my friend, samesies.
Yeah, because it's cold.
The skipper of this particular caravel is called Haramil Bethshula. He is not even Trachorian. He's from Efaro, which is closer to the Copper Sea, which you can tell by his much darker skin tone. He speaks with a bit of an accent, but he does speak Jori. Of course, being a skipper. Is Nefria gonna have a chat with him about, order on the ship?
Oh, you mean like how we're containing the prisoners?
Yeah.
Well,
It's so hard to have prisoners.
I don't have anything prepared. I just sort of imagine them all being shackled up, just kind of packed in there so tightly just in their misery.
Yep, that would be the case.
Like the people they enslaved, largely helpless, though they outnumber their captors.
Yeah, no, for sure. Haramil will wring his hands and or scratch his beard a bit, and I suppose we can do what you need. He's a very nervous man now that this ship has been effectively taken over by people.
Us.
Yeah.
I want order. I don't want these, Trachorians getting out of hand. Do you think that's something that you can accomplish?
Oh, yeah, of course, madam. We do not want any trouble on the sailing. No trouble. Yeah, trouble would be bad.
No, it's order. Organized now.
Yes, of course.
You let them loose, it'll be chaos.
Since I technically work for the Muggers, how will I, when I get back to Silver, and speak to the Muggers, how will I present the situation?
You are overpowered.
I mean...
Piracy.
Basically, yes. I mean, pirates are responsible for any number of things.
I suppose that could help with the insurance.
There's, wouldn't it be a fun little story for you to weave that a ship of Vemsica's pirated you? Improbable, but behold the evidence, you'll have nothing left. We could leave you with some Trachorian corpses as well to help seal the deal.
I don't know if I need any corpses on my quarter deck. I do think that this do be a bit hard for me to Why don't you roll some water here? Your lovely 3 level there. Are we doing a machinator thing too, or what?
I think so. I think we're gonna do a machinator thing.
Okay, roll yours 4 dice then, because suddenly we have another die in the chalice. Yay! The first die in the chalice for the evening. He does not have machinator, but he does have a lot of water because, oh my goodness. 3 successes right there. That was intense.
If they didn't want to rebel, it wouldn't be so easy to convince them.
Right. I'll roll for him. I got 1 success. You have done 2 points of damage to his doubt. 3 points, in fact, which is okay. With that success, we're not even gonna roll a second time because by now you get like 3 extra dice and you'll wear him down. Very well. We will say this and write down a witness statement that, of course, we were attacked by Vemsica's pirates. Yes, clearly that was what happened.
Indeed, clearly it was. And you know what? I think that we may actually have a little bit of cash on hand that we could put directly into you and your crew's pocket. for your assistance.
Well, I mean, now that you mention it, I do be interested in such type of a recompense, yes. Yes, Mauger, he's typing, he's writing with his quill, attacked by Vamsika's... There was a ship of Vamsika's escorting us. Were they the culprits?
You know what, I imagine so. You guys, you got lost in the storm, and you lost the military, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one pirate ship with 2 Mauger merchant ships? That's tempting.
Yeah.
Artegue, what do you have thoughts?
Nefria, you know no one's going to believe a single word of this, right? Because there's a whole second ship and Vemsika's pirate ship that all actually know what happened. You can't control the entire narrative that way. The story's not believable.
It was believable to him.
Oh, to him, sure, but why do you want him telling them a story that doesn't fly?
Just to obfuscate things and to get him off our back about what it is he needs to do. Go spin a story.
Okay. You're in charge of talking to the pirate captain, certainly. I don't want to step on your toes. I just don't know why we're now bribing him into telling a story that isn't going to convince anyone and really makes it look like we're trying to fuck with Vemsika. To the best of my knowledge, Vemsika has not done shit to me.
Okay, fine. We won't ask the captain to spin this narrative.
Spin a different narrative. It's a great idea. I think you're just on the wrong street.
Why don't we just blame it on the undead?
Blame what on
works.
the undead?
They went to unload things. I don't know. Got attacked.
Okay, by the Restless. Bethsamil is kind of crossing out Vamsika's pirates and putting Restless instead.
Restless.
Okay.
All we're doing is just paying the man to tell him a story we asked.
Yeah, it's just the story you're asking him to tell us an obvious falsehood.
About the Restless?
Yeah, because again, there are 2 other ships that are going to come back and say that what his story is bullshit. And those 2 ships are going to outweigh this 1 ship. Because their stories are going to line up, and this ship's is going to be different.
He be having a point. Says
You need to own up to everything that happened up to the point where we lost control of the information. And now we have control of the information again. So from the point at which we sail away on this ship, then you can make up any narrative you want. There's no one to tell this dude he's a liar.
The other
okay.
Ship, yeah. The other Morgan ship, and then there's a Vemsika ship. Though the Vemsika ship has kind of sailed away, so they didn't actually technically see you attacking the Karak and things like that.
True. But the Vemsican captain sure as hell knows that this Mauger ship was not run off by Restless on the shore
Can I
of
make a
Cluster
suggestion? I mean, if your intent is to rally, and eventually overthrow Trachoria or gain independence from Trachoria, why not use this as an opportunity to bring other people to that cause and basically promote your cause? Take credit for it. Name your group a guerilla, and create a...
Yeah, flex the reputation.
I mean, if you're going to behave like ISIS, you should take credit like ISIS at least.
Whoa. Let's not name drop any real life terrorist groups.
Okay, it was the first thing that popped in my head. I apologize. If you're gonna behave, but you get.
Gonna get us censored off YouTube.
You know what? Don't. ISIS is bad, just for the record. YouTube, I totally don't support. Anyway, what I'm saying is, if you're going to create a rebel movement or a terrorist movement, then this would also then lend to your cause. You just need a name like I don't know, the Reavers of Trachoria or the Reavers of whatever we, whatever you call it. Yeah, Trinsmyran. I was thinking that they reaved Trachoria, but that doesn't make sense. The Reavers of Trinsmyran, and we're coming for you. And we invite all whatever independents to our cause. You could use this really to rally people and gain publicity. That's up to you. That's just a suggestion. I'm just saying.
I think that's pretty solid.
This is more solid
It's actually, and it's actually not
makes
a lie.
a solid point here.
And it's really not even a lie. You're just literally taking credit for the truth that you have done and amping it up.
Like, you can sit down in the you can sit in chains in the bottom of the ship, or you can join us for freedom. Something like that.
Yeah, and we could even, and recruiting those soldiers makes it even stronger, or at least some of them.
Or at least the monks. Yeah. Probably not the soldiers. They're probably pissed off that they're being held captive.
I imagine we can get some of the, if there are any privates or like low-ranking people there, we might be able to, or people who don't have anything really to care for, we could get them to flip. But that being said, that's not the purpose of this. The purpose is to publicize and gain bad reputation. Now problems also come with that, because the more popular you are, the more people that come after you. So
yeah.
Point.
And the more people who come after us, the larger Sifanu's Legion grows.
Point.
I mean, you could also take credit for the really good things we did. Like, we saved all those people and got them to safety, and then they garnered their own independence and are running their own independent businesses and island now. So, like, we also, like, preserved the druidic order or whatever's left of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, yes. No. I'm super into this. This is a good idea. So
I'm here to help.
I turn to the skipper and I say, "You see how foolish all of these ideas are? Why lie when you can just tell the truth?" What was that little island called? Little island off Marjura was liberated by us. They have self-governance, self-determination, a right to their own shops and profits. Wouldn't you Moggers like the same for yourselves?
I'm sure the Moggers will trade with anything. I do be sure of that. Yeah.
Oh, is he not a Mogger?
No, he's not a Mogger.
Oh.
He's
I'll join me.
He's simply an Ephorite from
Oh, that's right. That's right. Join me.
I need to sail home anyway. He says.
Spread word of our doings. We have liberated. We have preserved cultures. We saved the citizens of Arheim on Marjura from the masses of undead.
Are you doing the thing to the soldiers or to Haramil?
I'm doing it to Haramil. I just want
the crew,
to convince.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
You know what? Why not roll a rabble rousing here? Let's even though it's not a single target, I'm gonna allow you to do it because you're holding a fiery speech.
So
that's happening. So roll 4 dice. Let's see if this works out.
Oh god.
We've got 4 weeks to work on these guys, so
right.
Yeah.
Wear them down.
Well, that is in fact 2 successes, which is okay, I guess. Let's have a look what it says for Machinator. Wait. Machinator, rabble rouser. If you fail, you become the target of, but difficulty is 2. So you didn't fail. You succeeded.
Hooray!
Yeah, they will. Hooray! Says the crew. I think the crew gets gripped by the romanticism of the whole thing. It's like an adventure thing, and I think the first person who shouts "Hooray!" is actually the ship boy. 12 and serves by running up and down and he's like woohoo, and that gets so contagious. So that ship's crew will be there, and we like these guys. They're kind of nice, aren't they? Yeah, you Trachorian bastards, you stay down there and be we'll guard them for you. So
delightful.
Excellent.
So there were some things to straighten out with last session, clearly, which is not entirely surprising. But now we have a different situation to deal with.
I'm very glad we didn't throw 150 people overboard, and Eldrida is very thankful that she thinks this is good.
I'm kind of sad that we didn't.
You don't.
I
want to
too am sad.
garner people to your cause, and being monsters will not get you the right people.
I will say that after a few weeks on the ocean, the enthusiasm will have worn off somewhat. They are now, because you've had some bad weather, you've had some bad turns, you remember my roles there for navigation. You sailed into a bit of a squall. One of the sails needs repairing properly, like the mast needs maintenance. They're not quite as enthusiastic now when you have 1 week left of sailing to get back to Trachoria proper. And that is, of course, when the lookout cries, "Sail ho!" And Haramil goes up to the quarterdeck and actually goes as high up as he can, almost all the way up to the lookout, and brings out his looking glass, and he comes down and has put his face in a deep frown. "I do believe them be pirates. Ice barbarians out of Oregon, no doubt. That's a longship, or my beard has never been wet with salt and spray."
Bum.
Someone
right,
hand
these
me a
are-
ballista.
I was gonna say these are not pirates that are probably gonna parlay. These seem like the cannibal ones. We've got 2 ballista.
Yeah, I'm gonna start enchanting another bolt.
Yep, that makes sense.
I'm going to cheer you on because there's no stone here to work with.
You are
I'm going
out
to
of stone.
encourage the crew and show them the strength of our rebellion's power.
He will do his level best to outsail these guys. So we now have a chase scene,
A sail off.
a sail off. The problem is, of course, that their ship is faster than yours.
I
Because,
like it.
you
I'm
know.
here for it.
All right,
Ah.
just needs to stall me enough time to enchant this bolt, and then we'll just blow them to hell.
Yeah, hopefully. So
I wonder if they
ship-
have any loot we can take.
You have Fire 2 on this ship.
Put those out immediately.
I can add some fate dice for the skipper, which is gonna be at least 1, which is gonna come out of my bowl. It's sad. So he will roll, in fact, 3 dice to try to outsail the pirate ship. Now, let's see if he can do that.
Come on, Haramild.
That was a good roll.
That was a
On
good
part
roll.
of Haramil. 2 successes. Lovely. Maybe this is the shortest chase ever. Yeah, this will be... I'm gonna call their ship having 3 fire and 1 extra die for the skipper on the pirate ship, which gives them 4 dice. Also, your ship has a slightly broken sail, so that gives them 5 in total. Trouble.
Come on, ones. Let me see them ones. Damn.
No ones this time. It really does like to do the fanfare, doesn't it? The ship is closing. It has now gone from long range to shorter range. Have you possibly done your magic there, Sifanu? Let's see what you
Yep,
do.
That's what I'm about to do next.
Yeah.
I'm using the template from the previous bolts. So
Yes.
that automatically makes it a level 2, I think you said?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I don't think anyone can help me with this, so I'm just going to roll 4 dice.
That is 2 successes, which is what you needed, isn't it?
I think so.
And one
And that
of
one-
those... No, your cargo mission symbolism is just the 1 level, isn't it?
Yep.
So that's good, because then you didn't add to your nefarious reputation.
I didn't screw something up.
Exactly. So yeah, that's gonna be basically the power level in fire damage, right? So 1 point of damage for fire for the bolt, because that's basically what it's gonna do.
I thought it was a level 2 because I was using the template, so it'd be 2 points.
You're right. So 2, yes,
Okay.
absolutely so. Yes, you're correct. So yeah, you are inscribing your runes and symbols upon the bolt in question, and that is successful. Anyone else doing anything while all this is going on?
I mean, I'm not really sure what Eldrida can do at this point.
Maybe it's out of range and all that. So,
Yeah.
but now that we've closed to short range, and pirates. I even have a. There we go. Pirate music. We needed that.
I'm
didn't we?
Yes.
Having my my reavers string up their bows, load up,
Yeah.
prepare to arch.
Eldrida will also prepare to arch, as it were.
Yep.
Artegue just stands there with a hammer waiting for the ship to come within arm's reach.
Now, I hand Eldrida this bolt I just made. I'm like, no, this will have much more impact.
Yep. In fact, Eldrida, archery and handling a ballista is the same for mechanics purposes. So
Then
you
I
will
go
be-
handle. I'll man the ballista.
Yep.
I got it.
Feel free to roll 3 fire for the ballista, and of course a bonus die because it's a ballista.
How do I turn the music down?
I'm sorry. That would be the little trumpet.
Horn on the top right.
Thank you. Got it. Much better. I mean, I could hear you, but I felt like you needed to yell. All right. Excellent. So it's a fire roll.
Yep.
So that's
Plus
3, and then 1 for the ballista itself, I imagine.
Yeah. So 4 dice in total. Absolutely great. Nice.
Yes.
Oh, that was
Get crushed, pirates.
that was intense. Wow. Describe. This is like those extra 6s are extra points of damage that you do with that bolt that already does 2 points of fire damage on top of everything else.
The firebolt.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do 4 points of damage on a ship that has 4 stone, essentially.
So when the ballista goes off, the bolt goes into the side, basically cracking the hull, and then it starts kind of quietly. And then all of a sudden, there's just a loud crack noise that goes down the entire length of the boat. And you start seeing it all basically catch on fire and then taking in water simultaneously.
Yep. I do get to roll the no, but it doesn't matter because 4, 6. Yeah, you have 3 successes versus 3 fire. So yeah, it can't even dodge this bolt that's coming flying towards it. It's burning
Yes.
heftily in the bow, and that is effectively the end of this fight because you gave it like it could try to catch up with you, but now your ship has 4 bonus dice for their ship's damage. So you will hear a cheer from your crew. That ship boy will run up and go, "That was the darndest shot I've ever seen."
Eldrida just takes out her pipe and starts smoking. Yep.
And so you have dealt with the pirates. That was probably a good thing that you did that, because otherwise, this ship swarmed by ice barbarian pirates would not have been a pretty sight.
I imagine not, no.
I mean, is it worth loitering to just fire some normal ballista bolts and sink the thing? I mean, these are clearly dangerous ice pirates.
They
I
are.
want them at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, you can shoot again if you want. Oh, you're gonna take up a chase with them? I mean, that's not gonna be too hard either with their ship on fire. Feel free to shoot again.
I mean, I don't mind putting some unaffiliated pirates down.
Like
Does anyone else?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, do you
Load up
feel
the
like
list
this
with a
is
regular
for the
bolt.
for the benefit of freedom?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, he
They're
says.
cannibals. I think cannibalism is against freedom, just in general.
Cannibalism.
Like,
Well, I give Sifanu a very pointed look, and I said, I think I remember something about eating your dad. I don't really know. Sure, I load up another bolt.
Grandfather, and that was ritualistic cannibals. That's different.
Oh,
That's not subsistence cannibalism.
This bolt
Sure.
is not enhanced with magic.
so okay, but I can still get 4 dice, right?
Yeah. You just don't do the extra super damage with it.
So you roll a bunch of 6s?
1/6. That's an extra point of damage, and I think that's actually what will make it tip over and go down eventually. It does have, this is a long ship. It's not a carrack. It's not like a heavily fortified ship in any way like that. These ships are generally made to. They could withstand a normal ballista bolt like that normally, and still do reasonably good time. They could catch up and all that. But when the ballista bolt explodes unexpectedly, bad things happen.
What? You don't say.
Yeah.
No one expected the cargo mission symbolism.
Exactly.
Oh, it has
So-
made very short work of so many flights already.
Yep. So endeth the threat of the pirates much faster than maybe some could have expected.
Good work, team. Now we've taken out pirates and an evil cult.
Uh-huh.
And a Trachorian Karak.
I'm gonna go
Yes.
lay in the mother's
All a
sun.
day's work.
No, it was a month's work, to be fair. Almost 2 months' work.
True. Good revolutions can't happen overnight.
They cannot. It's true. So I guess we will switch maps then to
Yeah.
Trachoria
Oh, wait.
itself.
Now we need to actually answer the other question we haven't answered.
Yep.
Where the fuck are we going?
Where are you going now?
All right, we've got this ship. We managed to figure out what to do with the prisoners. We managed to deal with the pirates. We managed to get away. We came up with a better story.
Yep.
And now where do we go?
That's the big part there.
I mean, Eldrida, I think we need to go see Fundibéra and talk with her. That's my opinion, but I'm open to other ideas.
I actually do agree. I think Fundibéra is going to be safe enough for our shenanigans.
Maybe.
She seems like politically unaffiliated enough.
Yes.
As long as we go someplace where Ingolma isn't, because I've very much failed to do the job I was paid to do.
You have brought some artifacts.
Yes, but I didn't bring
You have
any mummies.
a magic knife who snores.
There you go.
My contract was bring back as many mummies as possible, and I brought back exactly 0, so I'm pretty sure I failed.
I didn't even
That
see any mummies, though, so.
Because they all stood up.
They walked around, yeah. Also, Ingolma is, of course, in fact, in Tresilva, which might not be the first place you want to go to.
So, my question will be, and I'm fine with going and visiting Fundibéra. I hear there are wonderful sex parties and good drugs. Maybe some sex magic too. Who knows? I'll find out when I get there. My question, though, is: does Fundibéra have the facilities and capability to, take care of our prisoner exchange for cash with the Trachorian Empire?
I mean, maybe she's a heavy player, but I don't know.
Well, I've never met her, so I've never.
Well,
What
where's
do
Fundibéra
I
on that?
know, Mikkel? What does Eldrida know about Fundibéra besides she's a powerful witch that has amazing parties?
That depends on whether she's actually met Fundibéra at some point. What do you think about that, Fundibéra?
Oh, Fundibéra thinks that she would probably only send someone. Like, I'm gonna send you off to this like strange place with all of these weird things with magical happenings. I feel like there's got to be a level of like knowing trust there. So yeah, I think Fundibéra has met Eldrida and finds her competent enough to send on a mission.
Very well. So you would remember this strikingly beautiful woman who, I mean, when she wants to appear that way, she has many guises.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me for a second, and I was like, no, but Eldrida's not that good looking. She spends most of her time in the woods. Like, let's be real here.
No, I was thinking about Fundibéra. Yeah.
That makes much more sense.
Yeah.
You mean you don't have birds comb your hair for you every morning?
No.
Exactly.
That's funny.
I
Up
figure
your
every
princess game, yeah.
What all princesses do, right? We all just
Right.
get birds and they listen to us. It's a whole thing.
Some of you get mice, I hear.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously she knows a lot about esoterica and magic and all that.
What's her political like side though? Not much. Do I know anything about
So
that?
the best I think that we may be able to get out of Fundibéra right now, and Mikhail, feel free to chime in here, is potentially contacting the Trachorian Empire through some priests, which isn't unheard of, right? You know, like religious exchanges, you know, brokered by holy people.
She's not terribly interested in normally in the Trachorian Empire as such. This is more, her focus would be maybe more towards her own self-fulfillment and what the situation on Marjura might have in terms of the implications for her ability to keep doing what she wants to do. So the whole prisoner exchange thing, that's probably not her deal, really, not her speed.
Yeah. So is there somewhere we can stop off and like deal with the prisoners and then go visit Fundibéra? Because I'm not against visiting Fundibéra.
No,
I just don't want to show up on her doorstep with 75 prisoners.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Isn't
Yeah,
Limer Späde on the island?
Yeah,
Fun
he's
to
on
figure out.
Trinsmyran. Yeah, Limer is on Trinsmyran, absolutely, yeah.
I, of course, think we go to Fontra Cilor and make contact with Geryon Grotteschi, but you know, I'm sure he won't mind. Any rebel group is better than the Trachorian Empire.
I mean, I'm fine with going to Fontra Cilor.
It's kind of out of the way to go see Fundibéra.
Yeah.
It's over there across the the way.
I will remind you of the Eternal Storm outside of Fontra Cilor.
Yeah, that's only a problem for cowards.
So I'm not entirely sure. It's I mean, let's see now. Where would I even land with a caravel? Probably Tribra, and then make your way to Fontra Cilor. That's probably the way.
Yeah,
to
it's
do
pretty indirect. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, hey, Nefria.
I mean, Rakma is right there, and if you wanted to contact Limer Späde, that's
Can
Hey,
we
Artegue.
can we stop by your folks' place and drop off our prisoners and then go see Fundibéra?
Yeah, let's go straight to Limer.
Woo woo.
Great Limer.
I mean, unless like there's like a Trachorian agent at the garrison where it's like an Empire approved piece of paperwork for prisoner ransoms.
Wait. So we're gonna go meet the rebellion's leader and deliver them all the officers. I like it.
Yep.
I like it. Makes sense.
And then make our way over to Fundibéra.
the question here, I think maybe even I spoke too quickly. Rakma might be a poor choice because there is in fact a Trachorian army encampment outside that city. But there are, villages up here on the northern side and so on. So maybe that could be an example, a way to go.
Perhaps Nefria would be familiar with someone sympathetic to the cause.
Yes, very possibly.
With near one of these alternative ports that we could use.
I'm sure she would be.
Like
being a member of the resistance. So yes, she would.
I'm not telling Nefria what she thinks.
Let's see here. Have I feel like Nefria would also have tried to bring some of the crew to her cause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As we're nearing home. So in an effort to reduce the number of hostages that I have to worry about concealing.
Yeah.
Can I look to turn some of them?
Sure. Let's roll another water roll. Let's see how this goes.
Obviously not the officer, but
that would be hard.
Maybe some of her countrymen.
We're talking. Yes.
And that's 4, right? For my.
Yeah. Machinating away. Yeah, okay, I'll allow you to turn a couple of people there. Yeah, you will get a couple of recruits, basically.
All right.
Cool. Since you are again working here to take down the oppressive Trachorians and free Trinsmyran, I'll give you 3 fate dice right back again. Because that's how we roll with this, isn't it? You every time you're doing things for the cause, you get some stuff. So now the chalice will be empty again. How about that?
All right. So would any of these outlying islands, like along the north or anything like that, make a good base of operations for a resistance? Like not necessarily something hidden, but like, yeah, everybody in this village is secretly working, for the resistance, but we get a lot of traffic and, everything else. Something kind of.
Yeah, because I'm sure that could work. What the situation typically is on Trinsmyran, if let's go to the map of the Shadow game, the game of shadows, as it looks at the moment. Before the second turn will really get going. So you have Limer Späde has 2 levels of influence in Milak, which means that Milaki is definitely a place that you will get some help. I imagine that Limer would send an NPC to help out. Yeah. And Fundibéra, of course, can send some information here and there to people at need, so that's okay. And up here in the mountains, there aren't too many of the Trinsmyran freedom fighters up there. The Rungli people up there, they speak a different language than you guys, and they have defended their mountains using the scolopods, those giant millipedes that they mount and do hit and run attacks with. But they also have this very firm belief that if they ever leave the mountains, they will lose all their strength, so they don't, which probably is very frustrating for the Trinsmyran rebellion, because that means that there will not be a scolopod cavalry charge down on the plains of Kark. That's never going to happen.
That's unfortunate.
Very much so.
Could we make use of the Trinsmyran Highlanders on Nixon?
Not immediately, but eventually, once Limer has raised enough influence there, yes.
Nice.
So Isakra here, the village, the town, really, is where the sulfur convoy used to depart from. It is sits in the middle of a fjord, and the locals there really are mostly interested in whaling, and even have whale song competitions to attract the whales.
Oh yeah, we drove past it on the way here, didn't we?
You
Didn't we
did
hear their
indeed.
song?
Yeah. And there's also the Etemenanki Temple there, which could be of interest for Sifanu. It is the biggest library in the world because every single cult, sect, religion has a shrine there, is invited to have a shrine there. I'm sure the Sakran economy will take a hit because the sulfur convoy will no longer pass by. But, you know, there is also highlands up here where you definitely, this is probably, these areas up here, so these highlands up here could probably be a good place for building that kind of resistance that you're talking about. If you look at Troop Island, there's a small village there, there's Golmonda. All of those are fishing hamlets or villages for sheep herders, and mostly Trinsmyran, not wrongly. So they're not those mountain folks. They're very, rustic people, and most of them are just not caring too much about the whole Trachorian thing, because that's in Himbergond and Kark and on the Malaki Plains, and not something that affects them very much. The Trachorians tend to not get up there very much. But I'm sure you can sneak into a village there and cause some havoc if you want to. Like set it up as a base of operations.
Noise.
Shall we have a Trinsmyran map? I do have one of those too. That was a terrible map. Why is it looking so horrifying?
Squish.
Yes.
I don't know. It's actually the words are pretty much are much clearer than they are on the other one.
They're
Yes.
super clear.
Yes, they are. So I'll remove the weird lines there. But yeah, you have Xolg, Shila, Golgolan, that village there. Klakti, Stoms, Vagria. If I just fix the proportions a little bit here, the width is a little bit too big, I believe. Will that be better? Maybe.
I think
that looks
Golgolan
better,
looks
doesn't
good.
it? That looks a bit better.
That does look good. I can actually.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look as distorted.
Yeah. So you have pick a village. Like as you've noticed, this is one of our fans is running this campaign for his American friends and did a lot of work translating the entire maps, all those maps, the way I don't know how to do it without it looking terrible when I remove a word and replace it. And here we have his, in English. Isn't it lovely? So thank you very much to Fan. And so yeah, your place of birth there, Nefria, is actually Coal Hall. Yes. And now that you're coming back into your own as the rebel leader, you can cast away your Trachorian da Kolhalla and replace it with Nefria ba Kolhol. Yeah, that's a Trinsmyran way of saying that. Yeah.
Harumph.
Ba Kolhol.
I'll throw off the chains of your oppressors.
Exactly. Use your native name.
If I remember correctly, I think Sheila is in Limer Späde's sphere of influence out of Rakma.
Yes, it is.
I think that's good.
It's part of Milaki, absolutely. I can also
on the other
say
hand,
that
Golgolan is an island. What do you guys think? The island or?
Your best guess is.
Golgonda.
Yeah.
It looks like there's some some trees there. So worst comes to worst, you could disappear into the forest. But if you're on an island, there's only some place you can go.
I'll also invite you to fill in some blanks here. Like, a lot of these villages, there's absolutely no canonical information about it, so it can be whatever you want it to be. We are collaborating, telling a story here. If you wanna, if you have an excellent idea for Sheila or Golgolam, feel free. I'll stop you if it goes wrong.
Okay.
But
And you.
yeah.
I feel that way too all the time. I'll stop you if it goes wrong.
I think I like your original idea of Shilla, simply because it is within that the range of you getting help from your shadow power.
That it
Okay.
would be. Sagahagli is also officially a part of Milaki, so the border goes somewhere up here.
Gotcha.
I think-
Which one was the library?
What was that?
Which one was the library?
Isakra. And Isakra counts as a Trachorian city. Like, there are no Trachorian official troops there, but since it was the point of departure for the Sulphur convoy, there was, if the resistance would have tried to do anything there, they would have found out just how hard it is to take on an economic center for the Trachorians. Like, it's the same reason why you don't have any... why you struggle to have a presence in Vumbra. Vumbra being such an
That's where I'm
important...
from.
Such an important, naval base for the Trachorian Navy.
We'll need to keep that in mind for later.
Yep.
So, I think... Gosh. I think in terms of like a base of operations for like a resistance would be Golgolan Island here. Maybe it was populated at one point. Maybe the village itself is like super high up and otherwise fairly inaccessible and desolate. And I think we could safely house, our prisoners for an exchange there. And then maybe drop the troops, touch base, and then head over to Iskara to plausibly drop off the ship, I guess. I don't know. But I think Golgolan Island would be a good place for a resistance setup.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good to me. You will sail in there with, this is gonna be, let's set the scene, shall we? Today it's scattered clouds, but mostly clear on this crisp fall day in the month of Taragan, which is the 10th month of the year. When you finally, it's the first week of this month, when you finally see the coastline of Trinsmyran, your home. Nefria's heart races, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it is good to see the familiar outline. It's good to see, those mountains are my mountains, even if they're not really, they're part of how I orient myself at home, You always know which direction north is. It's the mountains there. So it's really good to see home.
Eldrida, this is also your home.
Band.
Yeah, it's a little outside of where I normally, am, but and Eldrida by nature is more of a wanderer. So for her, this is probably a little not as joyful, a little more awkward. If that makes sense.
It does. Well, arriving to the island and the village, Haramil is quite pleased to be able to put in. He's gonna stay here for a day or two for repairs and replenishment. Though he doesn't want to stay too long because he has 75 now very smelly soldiers in the cargo hold. He wants to get them. should I call you, what do I be giving you as a title, my lady Nefria? Lady, Captain, Sergeant?
Commodore.
El Jefe.
El Jefe. Let's go with Commander Nefria. What was
I like
it? Kolhalla?
Kolhalla.
Commander then.
Commander.
On your level 1 there of command that you have, you would be like a sergeant, I suppose.
Sergeant.
So if an army asks, that's... Of course. When do you intend to have the prisoners depart my hold?
I just gotta go up to the top of that village there. You can't really see it here, but I go up some cliffs and through some turns, a little bit rocky. Touch base with a contact up there, and hopefully they'll be able to send some people down to assist with the offloading of your cargo.
That sounds excellent. Thank you very much. And he's doing some kind of Farian bow. This is not some. You're not used to the greetings he usually uses.
Yeah, indeed. Yes.
And then he will kiss both your cheeks, because apparently that's what you do in a Farian.
That's like you do.
Yep.
Kiss the air back. There we go.
Golgolan, the small village. I will ask the shadow power for Limer Späde, the person who is playing Limer Späde. Is there potentially an NPC that Nefria can talk to in Golgolan?
Oh, I will say that, of course, and she is certainly aware of it as an outpost for the Resistance on its remote, elevated location on this island. There's certainly an NPC there who can meet her, but dear Christ, Mikhail, do help me name someone appropriately for the area.
Yes.
Because otherwise, I'm going to call him Bob.
We're not going to call him Bob. I
Bob.
need to create like a randomizer for all the names, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
One
usually
flying day.
I actually have a spreadsheet full of fantasy names, but unless you want to name like a halfling or something, this is going to work.
Is this what would the gender of this said individual be?
Oh, it would be male, because that's much easier for me.
Okay, I'll roll a d20 just for fun and see what happens. For the first time I ever, I use a d20. Okay. Yarmons, apparently. Yarmons. I can type that even in the public check. Yarmons.
Got it. Thanks, sir.
That's his name. Yarmons.
So, yeah.
Is he local or is he from somewhere else?
He is certainly a local. Pretty much all of them should be pretty local.
Mm-hmm.
Yarmans, of course, is not particularly a mover or a shaker. He's not in charge, certainly. Limer's in charge. But he, certainly has some experience from having run this hidden outpost for some time, and certainly has connections back to, the nobles in Milok.
Yarmans Bagolgolan will be happy to see Nefria. You're doing the secret sign of the Resistance, I'm sure. The knock or what have you. And exactly. I'm sure this is a fisherman, right? Doing some smuggling stuff, keeping scouting, all that stuff. When you're out fishing, you can also look for Trachorian warships, right?
And he's got a good spot for it.
Yeah, has a, I'm gonna say, nice long beard. And like so many Trinsmyrans, he has a long robe and wrapped his head properly to protect from the wind. That's the typical dress code, the folkloric way that Trinsmyrans dress. So yeah, that's.
Where did you put his name again?
In the chat on Foundry, actually.
Oh.
Yarmons Bagolgolan. He will be very surprised to see you, in fact. I was not Let's get into the accent here. I was not expecting to see one of our own today.
Yes, well, it is a little bit unexpected. I think I was due back at Rockma maybe at least a month ago. Last anybody really could have had a solid update.
3 months ago.
3 months ago. Should have been back 3 months ago, but well, here I am. I was the agent that was sent to Marjura, and I have returned. And I have returned, stay with me here, with 75 Trachorian captives, prisoners.
75?
Yeah, they're down in a Maugre caravel.
In a Maugre caravel? Oh, this is more than the entire population of this village.
Well, we're hoping that, you'll get into contact with, good old Limer, and Limer will hopefully arrange a ransom. And they won't have to stay here on the outpost for too terribly long.
Very well, then. I'll get the word out immediately. He's... Oh, and here, have some... He will give you of the local... food culture and invite you to have a cup of mocha, of course. You're probably very cold. I'm
just like warming up. I'm just like, this is great in here. They're on the ship, but this is great.
Yeah, you're still kind of feeling them. Sifanu and Sir Artegue, have you ever been on Trinsmyran before?
Probably not.
There's an
Can't
awful
imagine
lot
why.
of... There's an awful lot of music coming out of this village. A lot of it being made by someone banging either a stick or just their spoon on whatever pots and pans they have available. Everybody's singing too, a lot. There's a lot of singing here.
Are they just kind of like whistling while they work, or is or like a okay? Doesn't appear to be a party or anything to join. I'll wait for Nefria to get back to the ship.
Yep. You'll get some nice porridge made out of the local rye, is what we call it, right? I'm trying to translate grains.
I mean,
Is it the dark
grain.
one with the seeds?
Yeah. It's called... No, not... Okay. Barley, apparently. Yeah. Barley porridge. It has to be the hardy stuff, right? The Trinsmyran does not have much wheat because it's too cold up here. It's going to be hardy stuff. And also, of course, the armored mountain cucumbers.
Naturally.
Armored mount cucumbers.
Yep.
Do they have a spiny rind?
They have like scales on them. They're cucumbers with scales on them that are really, really tough and resilient, and you have to break them open to get to the juicy stuff.
Neat.
Yeah.
So I make my way back down to the ship, and presumably I was given a helper or two from the resistance there in the village to ferry some of the troops up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they will. The
We'll proceed with unloading.
Yeah, the people of the village will come out, and soon enough you'll have everybody out and singing songs of praise, and it's a joyous occasion. Sir Artegue, you're being celebrated as a hero, and Sifanu as well. Everybody's being greeted as heroes, and there is dancing, of course. The moment
That was a party.
Yeah, the moment Sifanu
Thanks,
and Sir Artegue and Eldrida land, and Eldrida is familiar with this. They always do long dances on Trinsmyran. It's a favorite pastime. In fact, that's how they travel. There will be a long train of locals who are coming, hands on shoulders. They're playing the music, and they just grab you and tag you along up to the village on the long train of dancing.
I am hating every minute of this.
Artegue is enjoying every second of it.
Good to be home.
This is great.
Yes.
I'm just sitting there all cringed up. I'm like, please stop touching me. Please stop touching me.
They will
Wait, tell-
not.
I know.
Let me tell you about the time. Let me tell you about the time we killed the evil Shagulite cult.
Yeah. I just come over and sit with Sifanu, and I hand him my little pipe, and I say, "Here, this will help."
I hope it does. And I will inhale deeply.
I can see everything. Speaking of which, if we are in fact indulging in such things again, shall we see if this predilection to use and abuse this particular type of substance might spread to Sifanu?
Oh, excellent!
Uh-oh.
Join us.
I'm just curious, no reason or anything. Just,
She's Sifanu. Moderation, man.
Roll
Don't worry about
wind.
Roll wind? Oh,
Yep.
okay. I'm not too good with that.
You're gonna be okay,
I
probably.
was just about to check my stone in case it was that.
Nope, it's wind. You're fine. You're absolutely fine.
Ah, fine.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I can do some time skipping here if you guys want. Like, it's gonna take a few days for Limer to get word and then send people over and this and that. And the locals will, of course, guard these soldiers, particularly the nobles, as well as they possibly can. There isn't a lot of resistance coming from them because, frankly, they've been on half rations for at least 2 weeks now, and they are not in a good shape. Indeed, all of you are tired after this journey, so it's nice to have a break and just be able to sit down and chillax for a while. So, are we getting Limer himself to this island, to Golgoland?
I mean, I can't imagine why not. This is probably the hottest thing going on in Rebel Land for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I only imagine there are some people imprisoned by the Trachorian somewhere they could trade for these worthless soldiers or something. I can't imagine why, particularly because it's not a very public place. This is all relatively private. But Limer himself wouldn't show up and congratulate Nefria on her naval victory.
You're getting a name for yourself.
Reputation.
Yes.
Anything for Trinsmyran. We understand a Trachorian Kark was sent to Marjura, and I would like to personally inform you, Limer, that we destroyed it.
Oh, He'd like all the details you can possibly describe or give him, and knowing your flair for the dramatic and embellished, the more dramatic and powerful your victory over the Trachorian Navy was, the better story it will make.
I'd like to. This is Sifanu. He is invaluable. This is Eldrida. She is invaluable. And you may or may not know this Artegue fellow.
Limer will nod at each of you in turn and thank you for your assistance in overthrowing the nefarious Trachorian Empire, and he hopes that the Resistance can count on you in the future. But one way or another, you'll always be able to call the Resistance a friend. Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, that kid's that guy's kid, he's dead. Got turned into a shagulite. Undead. Lost cause.
And the Shagulites were working with the Trachorian government, you said?
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
They were in fact providing medical assistance.
That is what I said to the Marjurans. Yes.
Well, those dastards. I am certain that the gentleman's son will not have died in vain, since you said he was mutated horribly, yes, by the Shagulites?
Oh, yes. Green
working,
skin.
the Shagulites who were working for the Empire, of course. Excellent.
Yes.
Perfect.
Deep connections.
Yes.
They have deep connections in the Trachorian government.
Oh, it's never on the surface, but if you just look between the lines, beyond the written, you can really see what the government's up to. Yeah. No, that is excellent. And I though his death is not as ideal as his survival, I'm certain the nefarious way in which the Trachorian Empire killed him will convince his father to assist the Resistance.
Indeed.
Anything else? Obviously, I can't pay you for these guys or anything. We haven't actually, unfortunately, at Nefria, in your absence, we haven't taken over the island or anything yet.
As long as you take them off our hands, I think we'll call it good.
I could definitely take them off your hands. You got any plans for that ship?
Yes, we have to use it to travel around and complete, do what we do.
Well, I was thinking of just kind of, absconding it. There is a Mauger crew, of course, but I'm sure we can replace them with decent men of the rebellion.
Trustworthy individual.
We definitely have, maybe no one with a lot of caravel experience, but there are definitely some fishing boat captains and whatnot who I imagine would be more than capable of captaining this vessel. So I suppose if you want a crew for it, let me know.
Haramil will be a sad boy.
Can't trust
Poor
him.
Haramil. Poor Haramil. Cool. Other than that, Nefria, do you know where you're going next?
Well, I was, waiting on the word from the Resistance. Where am I most needed? We were also going to pay a visit across the island, over in the Kark region.
Excellent. Maybe you'll find an excuse to visit home while you're there. He reaches inside of his traveling dancing robe and hands you a piece of parchment, and then, assuming we've rolled up the rest of the business, he'll dance away merrily to supervise his 75 new pieces of political capital.
What kind of order might Limer give his loyal rebel?
I'm gonna here, I'll send it to you.
Okay. Because you'll all be needing new commands from your shadow from your shadow power to be able to level up the next step.
Cool. I have dropped it in Discord so that you can be as discreet or indiscreet with it as you'd like, sir.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's piece of cake.
I mean, right? It's that or work towards it, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to make her life impossible.
I could add another possible thing for you to think about. There we go. Other ideas?
Who is that?
It's the Trachorian boss in Vumbra.
Oh, yeah, sure. If you're actually going to Vumbra, yeah, we'll go with that. Sure, deal.
That instead?
Done. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
I don't know that I even want to know what we're doing. I don't.
Sounds like somebody's been plotting assassination.
I feel like no good can come of this for.
As you are taking this little break from traveling, and obviously Sir Artegue and Sifanu will have to, because there's, you could charter a fishing boat off of here. I'm sure that nobody's going to stop Sir Artegue from doing that if he wants to leave the group at this moment. That goes for Sifanu too, I suppose. But if you don't, you will have an interesting moment in Golgolan before Limer Späde actually leaves. There is, in fact, a fishing vessel coming this way and anchoring. This is going to be, let's say that you spend about a week in Golgolan for abstractions purposes. And this is shortly before Limer intends to leave, when a fishing vessel arrives, and off of the boat steps a Shamashi priest in those very stern-looking black robes, and never a smile on his face, which is kind of weird for all the Trinsmyrans, who are always smiling with their Trachorians around. And he is walking up there with his woe betides so the true face of this life is misery. I have heard that this is a place where I can reach Lord Limer Späde. Is this correct?
Who's he speaking to?
Who wants to know?
Well, if Limer's there, he just looks at Nefria and wiggles his eyebrow, like.
Who's asking?
Who's asking? I'm so sorry. This is, yes. My name is ouch! My name is something that I need to think up really quickly here on my feet. Sorry about that. Baldir da Albarunzia.
And why are you looking for good Sir Limer Späde?
Because I bring word from Shar Kishatin himself, the High Crystallocrat of Manzonla, of the priest, the Holy Kishat.
I kind of stay quiet, looking for a cue from Limer as to whether or not he wants to take this call.
I suppose, sure, yeah. He's home, or I suppose I'm home, and he doesn't get the answering machine. So, so yeah, he'll kind of stroke his beard and say, "Yes, you carry a message. What is it?"
Greetings in the light of the son of Shamash. The Shar Kishatin brings his wishes that you, my lord, will walk the road of pain and woe that is the truth of Shamash.
That doesn't sound like any fun.
Yes, though
Fun
this
is a distortion of the world, and not and is heresy as it distracts you from the truth that we are always miserable creatures at heart.
Fun's all we got, man.
and none are. No one finds life more miserable than those under a Trachorian boot.
Indeed, this is exactly what the Shar-Kishatin wants to bring to you, my lord.
Not a Trachorian boot?
I have been sent to link up with the Trinsmyran resistance. The Shar-Kishatin of the Holy Kishat aims to break away and declare independence for the Kishat from the Trachorian shackles. These heretics who worship a false goddess and only cares about money grubbing and all sorts of sinful behavior that distracts them from the truth. They are not worthy to follow if you are true to Shamash.
There is no creature walking the earth more duplicitous and less truthful than a Paratornian noble.
We heartily agree, then. That is the truth.
Excellent. Come, dance and talk with me, friend. As he starts twirling away.
Dancing is sacrilege!
Yes, but think of the pain the blisters will bring. How miserable will we be then?
That's a point, I guess.
You have to dance now to be more miserable later. In the light of Shamash.
Yeah.
And also drink heavily, so you'll regret it later too.
No! That's sacrilege upon sacrilege.
No, don't worry. We've got a special kind of alcohol here where you don't actually get any of the fun parts of being drunk you don't want, but you do get to wake up the next morning with a massive hangover. Now, the only difference here is that you just have to drink it all really, really fast.
Oh, the things Baldur the Albarunzia will do for the cause. He will, yeah.
He's way out of his comfort zone.
But I thought that could be interesting for you to hear that the Holy Kishat, in fact, is also dedicated to opposing Trachoria.
Yeah, that opens up a whole new section of the world map that doesn't hate us.
Yep. During all this week, of course, Briar will be doing what he always do, walking up and down anything that looks like a rocky place to collect samples, always comparing it to that one sample he got from the Iron Tower, and always they're coming up short. Though he does say, well, if you do have at some point your intent to pass by Isakra, it would be most interesting for me to visit the library, as I do need to enter this rock into the annals on the study of the musicality of metals. I feel like there is a lot of work that has gone unexplored. It opens new avenues for the exploration of these properties. Possibly this metal could cure all sorts of ailments.
I'm with him. We should go to the library.
Indeed. A trip for some
Doritos enters it.
research.
I'll look at some alchemy potions. Maybe they've got something on that.
A library. Although libraries do have librarians, so.
And opportunities to put your name on the wall through funding.
There you go.
I'd have to kill a couple more of my siblings to have that much draw on the family cash.
Oh dear, we're going to the library, are we, after this? I'm fine with that.
Seems like it.
One day
Yeah,
I'll have a map for you guys too, because you are doing the shenanigans now, and that means that I don't have maps for everything. But,
How dare you, sir?
I'll produce one eventually for Isakra, so you know what it looked like when you were there. Yes, I do have access to a map, but I'm not sure if that is. I need to recreate it properly. Let's say. Hashtag copyright stuff.
I'm sorry.
Is that the one I'm thinking about? I think it might be. It wasn't. It was the other book. That's the one. Right. Yes, that's the one. Very good. All right. Isakra, then. After you've been here now for about a week, you've done your business with Limer. Nefria has her new job description. Have you looked at it?
I have not. Where did that end up? Come here.
It's under the shadow command there.
Oh my god, where's my character sheet?
Lower right corner.
There we go. Nice. Cool.
It'll be fine, no problem. Sailing up to Isakar takes all of not even a day from Golgolan, and Haramil Betsula is he still the one doing the sailing here, or has he been expropriated by Limer?
For now, he will do the sailing, but the moment he shows himself to not be trustworthy.
Isakar itself is I mean, you've stopped by here before on your way north, but now you have more time. And the inlet to this fjord is between. It's like the mountains are closing in like from two sides, creating effectively a wall that is going to be hard to navigate for anyone who is not an expert sailor like Haramil is. It's a fairly narrow gap, and there is in fact a tower on each side of this mountain peninsula that is acting like this natural wall. A tower has been placed on each one of them, and from those come a very heavy chain into the water. That chain is in fact connected to a net underneath, and it's used, as Briar I'm sure has told you before, to trap whales. So that is very useful to for the locals as they are plying their trade.
How good would that chain be at keeping out, say, a ship?
Very.
Okay.
The moment you put that chain down, it's just done, basically. So, Isakar itself. Do I have a... Oh. Sorry. Looking through my notes here. It's gonna take a moment or two.
That's what happens when we keep swerving wildly to one side to the next.
Yes, indeed.
And for our next trick, up to run.
Exactly. The Isakar itself, you will have on the north side of this bay is an interesting stand with enormous brass horns that they look like pipes from where you're like pipes jutting out of the water, but those are the brass horns that the whale singers use to sing to the whales. Further down on the sort of southeastern side of the bay is where you will have anchorage for the ships. That's also where the rest of the town is. There's a river coming down and a nice, beautiful waterfall along the from the very high cliffs. So this is like a bowl, and a half-circle bowl, and where the bottom of the bowl consists of a village, and on top of one of the mountain across there is in fact the Etemenanki temple that I have been mentioning before. And in fact, I'll just do a thing here, and then later no, I can't do that. Okay. There's also a what do you call that? Oh, my English is terrible. Clearly.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
Look at you running this whole game in English. And our shenanigans.
Cableway. That's what I mean. You can take a cable car from, as you climb up on the backside, basically, of the village, you can take a cable car up to the temple itself. Down in the actual village, there is probably one place that Sir Artegue will be particularly interested in.
Go on.
And it's called the Fortress of the Flags. And there you will find mercenaries, soldiers of fortune, and all sorts of sellswords from the entire empire and indeed all of Argond. People who, for one reason or another, got stuck here temporarily. Any of the units in the Trachorian army that ever went up to serve in Arham left their banner behind, and that's why it's called this. So it's literally like a series of barracks and training grounds for soldiers and sellswords, surrounded by all these banners that flutter in the wind. So Sir Artegue will, in fact, not be bored here if he wants to keep to that particular part of the village. It's like Ithaqua is divided into 3 worlds. One is the local villagers who care mostly just about fishing and whale hunting. The other is the learned folks up on the mountain in the actual temple. And the third are all those sellswords that do what sellswords do best when they are bored and don't have a job. Though they do function as the local town watch as well. They get paid to do that, so they don't get too rowdy. The locals wouldn't want that. And that is Ithaqua, in short.
Nice. Really, y'all want to go check out the library, right?
Yep.
Well, I mean, Briar is gonna go immediately.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Briar.
Eldrida?
Yeah, I'm going to the library. I said I'd look at alchemist for recipes,
indeed,
basically.
you did say that. Sorry. And Sifanu as well. Sir Artegue, are you staying by the...
Artegue is going to follow them up to the mountain, though he has no interest in the library itself. Once they're there safely and not dead, Artegue is just going to linger around outside and commune with the mountain and work on adding a spell to a grimoire, since Sifanu has turned him on to that as a good idea.
It's excellent.
It's crazy the interdisciplinary things you can learn from a master of another, you know.
Right.
Well, you're telling me if I do this the same way more than once and write it down. Ah, excellent. Thanks, Sifanu.
The things, right? The things.
Mm-hmm. But so yeah, not going inside, but presumably if they yell loudly enough, I'll come hear them.
Yep. The temple itself is guarded by the Etenmenanki Order, of course, and these folks are knights. They will require you to leave your armaments outside. They do not mess about with that kind of stuff.
I'm fine with that.
My weapon's my tongue.
Yeah, there's a place where you can deposit them in.
Yeah. When I deposited, I warned the guy, I was like, whatever you do not open that dagger. It will bore you to death.
You will just get a weird kind of... Wait, what? That is basically the reaction to that.
I laugh.
We go in.
Yeah. Okay then. What are we doing next?
I mean,
I'm hoping there's a section just labeled magic, just in general, because that's where I'm going.
that's how that goes. I'm gonna like look for recipes or things on alchemy, stuff like that.
Yep. There will... I mean... This library really has everything. It has... If anything you want to do here in terms of studying and learning things and whatnot, you will get bonus dice. As many as you could possibly be for being in the library.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to learn some new recipes then. I only know a few. I've got... Let me check. Healing. Wildfire, because I have the feat for it.
Yep.
An antidote and a calming potion. So I look for other things that might be more rare or interesting, because I know I have a basic grasp of, you know, potion making. That's my jazz. Basically, if there's something out there, Mikhail, I don't know, you know, what's available, but if I'd be looking for something that, you know, I don't know about, or to use this as a good reason to level up this feat the next time I'm able to level.
That would definitely work. Yes. Next time you can level up, you can definitely use your stay in the library for that purpose. Absolutely. Where I'm looking at Potion Maker here, your ability now. You have the wildfire recipe. There are other recipes that are interesting to you, perhaps, including, for example, black powder.
Oh yeah.
And I am sure that that could be found here, if nothing else. Let's see now. Potion Maker, black powder recipe. You can make black powder. Yeah, okay, so that's one of the level up things, which means that even if you find the recipe here, you will have to understand it properly before you can use it to actually make black powder.
Okay. No problem.
Let's see.
That sounds good to me.
There we
I'm
go.
good
After
then.
a successful roll for creating, you can write down the recipe in a book that also fits in the apothecary's bag. You can then make the same potion again if you have the ingredients. Using the recipe gives you 2 bonus dice.
Cool.
So, I'm sure you have a book of recipes.
That would make sense. I do actually. It's right here. It's this book right here.
Yeah. Since you now have the black powder recipe, because I'm a good-hearted person, you get a bonus die for making that type of potion. Even though you don't have the expertise just yet, it's gonna be hard for. I might raise the difficulty because you're messing around with stuff you don't quite understand. But there's a potential anyway.
But so now I would have to take the feat in order to be able to craft that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this will definitely allow you to take the feat, so
Cool.
win.
That'll be fun.
And Sifanu's looking for all the magic.
All of it.
All of it. Oh, how much magic could there be here? Well,
I'm just gonna grab a book at random.
There are. So, this library has a lot of things, of course. They are. It's not a place for grimoires necessarily, but it will have a lot of theory on magic.
Good enough. Basically, I want to get a first point in another kind of magic, and I figured this will be the excuse for it.
Let's have.
We're all making excuses today.
We're all making
Nothing but excuses.
Do make all the excuses. Why not? Let's have a look. Nope, not that book. That book. Hashtag downtiming, right?
We need some of it. We've been going and going. Speaking of, I pick up can I buy some ingredients to make more pots?
This is
I
a
only
library, not a
have
herbal store.
Well, yeah, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 pots on me.
You might want to go out and do some foraging, being the hunter, to do that.
Excellent.
I was gonna say... Learning! So, you know what? I'm gonna grant you the possibility to raise something if you stay long enough here, and though not in a new tradition, so you can raise one of those that you already have. Necromancy or Cargomitian symbolism.
Oh, I was hoping to pick up something new like pyromancy or mentalism or something.
You'll have to find a teacher for that. It's not just the theory; it's also, you know, the practice. You have it's like you could, I guess, compare this to trying to learn how to be a chef by just looking at the recipe for the meal. You know, you need to have someone there to explain how these things match up together. And if you just, like me, just cook from a recipe, it'll be terrible when someone eats it. It's just how it works. That was
all right.
Was that a terrible comparison? Metaphysics and food? I don't know.
It works. I get what you're saying.
But maybe you can find some leads to a potential pyromancer here by looking over the library and seeing legends about pyromancers and you know, that kind of stuff. So that I would definitely grant you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to compose a list. Like, this region is known for this kind of magic, and kind of like make a laundry list of places I want to go next.
Yeah, pyromancers, that's definitely gonna be here on Trinsmyran. This is a legendary place for pyromancy. What you want to look for is basically a priestess of Inashtar.
You mean the miserable guys we were just talking to?
No, that was Shamash.
Shamash.
Inashtar is a different god.
That's
Goddess, in fact.
of fire and love and war, I think.
Yep. She is the most popular deity on this island.
Bet you could find somebody at Fundibéra's with that.
I bet I could.
That could be the case, yeah. She can hook you up.
So yeah, like I said, I'm going to get a list of different kind of magics and regions I would need to go to learn it.
Right.
Because that's my goal.
Learn all the magic.
Yep.
I mean, it's not too hard here. Like wind weaving, that's more challenging. There's no particular place in Trinsmyran that is worshipping Marduk. It can be found anywhere. The worship of Marduk, the god of winds. Sailors certainly do it, because for obvious reasons. Though finding a witch or a warlock that actually practices that is kind of hard. For the others, aquamancy, same thing as with wind weaving. Enki's flowing wisdom, this is pro-creationist stuff now. For that, you might want to go to the island of Mereld, which is south of Trachoria. Of course, that's where the Inquisition and the Animists live, and if they discover that you're a necromancer, you might be in for some trouble. Same thing with the healing light of Tigualvan, really. Shamashi truths, they're not going to teach a necromancer. Obviously, you distort the fundamental. It's no.
Yeah.
For the moon worship, Fundibéra is definitely the gal you want to talk to about that. Hang out or just cargo missions. You might want to go to Bektar, the holy mountain in Kargom, where some very wild rites are done during the most important holidays. You might be one of those people who could go there and get back without getting eaten because you are cargo mission.
All right.
I'd love to find more symbolists for our team.
Illusionism, there is an entire academy in Hoxo. Like, the entire city is all about illusions.
Sweet.
It's the city of mirrors and mirages. And that's right next to Fontra Cilor, so, mentalism, I mean, it's not very well seen. I'm gonna give you, the possibility to find a mentalist on Pyretorna, probably in Tresilva, sells his services or her services to various noble houses according to the chroniclers that you find.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have you roll for stuff here because it's just a matter of time, right? If you want to speed up your studies, roll wind. If you're just fine to sit here for weeks, possibly months to study, you will find the information you're looking for.
Well, I certainly don't want to hold everybody up, so I'll roll wind just to speed things along.
For sure.
Hey, baby, if you're happy, I'm happy.
Yes, but I know how soon you'll be unhappy the longer you have to stay in this nerd build.
No, I'll just wander down. Once you're not getting killed there, I can wander down and hang out with the sellswords. Don't you worry about me.
Also, Sir Artegue, you did want to do the thing with the grimoire, so
I certainly did the thing.
why don't we roll for that?
Okay. There
we go. Yeah, 3 successes. You know libraries like mad. Yes. This is heaven for Sifanu. It's quiet. There are all sorts of weird sects here. Yeah, go ahead. Sects. Not that other word.
Sorry,
Art would have been a lot more interested.
I'm a child, I guess.
Well, Artegue's a lot happier now.
It was close enough, wasn't it? It was not out of the way. I think I have some. Yeah, there we go. Yes, the library of Isakura. I need to scan the map. I have it right here. There is most of the locals here, by the way, live in wooden houses, and there is a part also called the Stone Town. So there's Wood Town and Stone Town, which is Stone Town is the place where the rich villagers live.
Ooh.
Yep.
Permanent housing. Indeed.
There's all sorts of interesting sects up here in the in this temple. The library itself is tended by the Pjonder monks. They are bibliophiles. They love books over anything else, and it's famous across Trachoria. This library, their librarians are highly sought after, not just because of their skill, but also because they have made a promise of being ascetics, which means that they do not charge very much for their services.
Yeah.
Yep. So they are easy to recognize because they have tattoos in their face, and the more they have, the more tattoos they have, the more advanced they are as librarians. So the people that will be assisting you are probably having just some doodles on the cheeks there. There are other interesting sects here, of course, as well. We have the Silenciers, who are from Korald. They worship quietness and never speak. They do wear very soft movements with their hands to communicate with each other. The Cabovers are nuns who seek for everything. The search is the point, not finding stuff. And of course, I think maybe Sir Artegue will partake with some of the siblings of Uelgeric. I don't know.
When they are.
They worship the god of excess. Uelgeric.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. They're completely open here. They have very, very sticky orgies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, they have a pool, right? In
All
their
orgies are
in
sticky
their
orgies.
temple, and they fill the pool with food that has been very well cooked. But it's just, they come with the serving plates, dump the whole thing in the pool, and then they dive in.
Yeah. When Artegue's done working on his grimoire, forget the cell swords. He'll be hanging out at the Cult of Excess's parties. There's a Cult of Weldrick, you said?
Uelgeric.
Welgeric. All right.
The whole seance is finished when people have eaten to the brim by everyone in absolute euphoria, crying the god's name, Welgeric.
Perfect. There aren't that many places where you can fuck a dude while eating a salami sandwich, and
Really,
I'm always
you're
excited to find a new one.
So weird. So fucking weird.
Or how about the little sect of the illiterati, who will not touch anything that is written down?
The illiterati.
Yes, the illiterati.
I love it.
Yeah.
Why are they in a library then?
No, they're not in the library. They're in the Itamanaki temple. They would never go close to the Pyander monks, the library of the Pyander monks. This is a huge temple. There's like so many different sects and so many different little places you can get lost in, and all sorts of things. I'm gonna roll a d6 just for fun, because we are in Isakra, and we will milk it for events, won't we?
I mean, makes sense to me.
Yeah. Eldrida, as you are searching through, you stay in a tavern, I guess, all of you, between your trips up to the library?
I mean, I can afford a room.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will definitely stay in the tavern.
I just assume that he was buying us a room, but I can camp. It's fine.
You can squeeze on into my room. That's fine.
Oh no. Can I just say? I look at Nefria and I say, please don't make. Can I say stay with you? I'll just stay with you, okay?
Yeah, you can stay with me. That's fine.
Thank you.
I'll come.
What? I haven't never done anything you haven't consented to.
Weirdo. No, it's just loud and obnoxious there. Like It's not about me. It's about what you'll bring back.
One day, as you are spending time in Isakra, one of you can pick maybe it's all of you. I don't know. You're
Can I look for things in the library?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you want to look for in the library?
I want to look at rhetoric and like charismatic commanders and see if I can
Study some of the old greats.
Yeah. Yep. The old orators, you know. Yeah.
I see the future here, an experience saying, I studied rhetoric in Isakra. Yeah. As you are all moving up towards the library, you will notice that there's a bunch of worshippers. Even if you stay here a month, you're never gonna be able to identify all the different sects here. There's just too many. There's gonna be hundreds, dozens, hundreds. Who knows? Wherever you go, when you get up on the Temple Mount, the temple grounds there are people in all sorts of robes and religious vestments. Some of those religious vestments look absolutely interesting, as I say, eccentric, with strange things they wear on their heads or on their torsos, or staffs of office that they hold, or other things. There's a sect of weavers. They are guarding the weave of the world, they claim. Yep, very important. Weaving, it's everything. But this particular group they call themselves the Sivosta worshippers. They are apparently from Kroon, and they are trying to outbid another group, the Wewefers from Sanithsid. In the middle of between these two groups, there is a white pig of fairly large size that has two tails. And both of them want this pig.
I'm sure they're both viewing it as some sort of omen and they have to have it for themselves.
Apparently, yeah. Yep.
Nothing on this one, folks.
I mean, we should. I mean, I look at Nefria and I was like, do you want to talk to them and help settle this, or should we just not get involved in this? Well, I look at the pig. Eldrida stops and looks at the pig. Do I have any idea what the heck this is? Have I seen anything like this?
To you, it looks like your typical wild boar-ish, but it's white, so, that's weird. And has two tails.
I think that's the weirder part. I mean,
Yeah, that's
you want a
also
white
weird.
pig? I'll get a pig. I'll paint it white.
I mean,
Can you commune with the pig?
I can't talk to the pig. I'm not a witch.
That
Yet.
kind of witch?
Yeah, I guess I'll go and kind of just saunter up, mill about in the crowd, and like see if I can figure out what's going on here. What's the drama?
Oh, the sacred pig! You do not understand.
Yes, there it is.
It's this old sow. It's a very important pig for us. Yes, you don't understand. Luckily enough, those Wefers, the Wefers, they are not very rich. So we'll be able to outbid them. Don't you worry.
What makes the pig sacred?
That's a good question.
It's holy. It can carry the ceremonial. Oh no, this is a Swedish joke.
We don't understand Swedish jokes, okay? We don't.
How would I translate that?
Oh, it's very funny. I
rolled that particular thing. The ceremonial jumper, sweater of shame and victimhood. Yeah, this is an internal joke about how certain people, read racists, always think they are the victims and claim the victimhood whenever they're countered with, truth.
Right.
And, you
I
know,
like
the
it.
kind of people who go like, free speech, we want our free speech. And then you go, yeah, okay, so here's how you're wrong. Ah, I'm being victimized. Yeah, we have an expression for that in Swedish.
I see.
Get out of here.
And why do they want the pig?
I don't care. They do not understand the holiness of this pig.
Well, what are you thinking you'll end up paying for this pig? And I kind of look at Artegue.
Oh, we are going to offer at least 10 gold trachines.
I look at Artegue to judge the value of that.
I seem to feel like, from my internal sense of trachines, that a gold trachine is a lot, and 10 gold trachines is a lot.
It is quite
And,
a sum.
uh,
Yeah, it's quite
I
a sum.
have the level of income where I can afford to live in not absolute shit in a tavern.
Yes.
But I don't have like 10 gold trachines of spending money for the month. No. Now the party does.
So
not spending on
let's
pig.
know. One
We
gold
have-
trachine will get you a serious feast. And like, yeah.
We have that lump sum 3 that we
So it's basically 10
looted from
times
the Moggers.
It's basically 10 times the price of a normal pig.
All right. Let's see here. What's the weather? You said it was sunny.
Yeah, I guess I can. Yeah, why not? It could be. I can make a roll. Apparently, it's torrential rains today. No, it's not. It's gonna be. Well, it is the fall, so it makes sense that it's slightly rainy. It is. It's fall on Trinsmyran. There's gonna be a lot of rain here.
All right. Like I gesture down toward the pig's feet, like towards its little hooves.
Yep.
And I go like, this isn't an unblighted pig. This can't be a sacred pig. Look at how spotted and blemished its feet are.
Sacrilege, she says.
How?
Oh, we know all people of all faiths can wander these grounds. I will not dispute your metaphysical errors on this occasion, but it is a sacred pig. Did anyone have more than 10 gold trachines to offer there? No? Then very well, the pig is ours. Bring out the sacred sweater of victimhood.
I am so confused right now.
Is it Argyle?
This is normal in the Etamanaki Temple.
Is it Fair Islenet?
I wanted to have Sir Artegue roll for that ritual you're doing to commit it to a
Yes.
grimoire. Did we do that?
We did not, but hold on a moment and I will, good sir.
That's a lot of dice, but that's because you
Yeah,
used
I spent
fake
2.
dice, and you've done that already. So, or did you? Have you deducted them?
I've not marked it off my sheet yet, but give me 1 second and I will.
Very well.
Sorry, I wrote it off on the ledger I keep, but not on the actual character.
Yeah. I will put them to the chalice. Everybody will be happy to see that there's actually stuff in the chalice. Something.
Yeah, that's me donating to the cause.
I have also spent some for the chalice, so there is in fact 5 dice there now, out of the 81 in total we have for this campaign. Yeah, that was also a 2 successes. So, however, no 6s, which is not going to be a big problem for you now. Like
Just tires me.
Yeah, it just tires you, and you'll be fine the next day. And you can write the spell down in your grimoire. So next time you do exactly the same thing, you get bonus dice. There we go.
Is just aspect of stone. So anyone who's standing around outside when Artegue finally succeeds, he's briefly covered in rocks. And then goes, all right, success. Now for the cult of Welgeric.
Exactly, and just dive into the food. There is probably too little sex in these orgies. It's mostly just eating until you utter the god's name and let the food come out again the wrong way.
It's still worth hanging out for a couple of them just in case.
Of course. I mean, you try everything once, right?
That's the goal.
Indeed.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do twice.
So how long are the four of you planning to stay, Sakura? Briar is lost to the world.
I mean,
as I said, I wanted to propose that list, and once I've got that done, I'm good here.
yeah, I'm good.
Like any kind of like bonus or anything like that for having read up on rhetoric, or
You know what? If you copy the book in question and take your time to study it before doing a rhetoric roll, like you're planning to, for example, you are planning to do, so this will now be an object. You're copying down the book, and or the pages at least from the book, and then if you are going to hold a speech at some point doing a scene to the masses and you spend the scene before holding the speech studying the book, I'll give you a bonus die for the attempt.
nice. Like it's like a Toastmasters book.
Yes, it's you get like a gear bonus for having, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I mean,
101 best fart jokes.
It's like
David.
the equivalent. I mean, it's an equipment bonus. The same as having a weapon in a combat, right? Yeah, yeah. But you're armed with knowledge.
It's not just a metaphor anymore.
Exactly. You can write down a book on rhetoric in your.
I was going to title it "Rhetoric and Other Fun Hobbies."
Yes, that works too.
Huh. All right, are you nerds done yet?
How long are we spending here? Shall we say at least 2 weeks, possibly a month? What are we saying?
Well, I actually got 3 successes on a wind roll to see how
You did?
long it would take me to
So-
learn everything.
That's like a week.
I think a couple weeks will be good for me. I'm not doing that much, just looking at recipes.
Yep.
I would like to hunt around and forage, but I can do that while like we're on the road, basically.
So we will be somewhere deep in October now. That is Talagan.
I was about to say, that doesn't sound right. I don't remember October.
Exactly.
Paragon.
You will obviously not be leaving in the middle of extreme weather, but maybe on a day that is mostly clear, the day after the storm. It's getting colder, of course, because such is the time of year.
Alright, so what's the next goal? Are we going to see Sifanu?
Fundibéra.
Vera.
The
Fundibéra.
witch.
Yes. And
you wanna
she...
go-
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do we want to go overland, or do we want to try to go along the coast in our caravel?
Your caravel. Haramil has left if he could. Was he allowed to
Yeah.
leave?
This isn't one of the, like, if we want to keep the caravel, we're going to have to replace him because he's only
Yeah.
working for us under the illusion that we're going to let him go.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
I also
Cool,
think if
overland.
Briar wants to stay here in the library for a while, it might be a good place to leave him so he's safe.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
No,
I would go.
Because I mean, we don't need to keep carrying Briar. He's good information, but he's also, a drag.
Why wouldn't we bring Briar?
Oh my God.
he might
He's
not
not a
even notice
pet.
that you leave.
Man, that's some harsh things to say about Briar. I really enjoy his company.
I mean, I'm sure that we can convince him that, like, visiting Vumbra in light of his discovery in Marjura may help him. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
What
you
if it's
just
a
tell him
plains
that
rock?
you just tell him that Vumbra was the start of the Shagulite cult, and he'll be there following up on his research.
Do we want to bring him, or is he, just somebody that we can throw to
I
the
don't think
wolves?
I don't think it's a good idea to keep putting him at risk.
I didn't. Eldrida, how much risk are we going to see Fundibéra? I suppose I assumed we were going to be relatively safe going to visit Fundibéra, but what should I know that I don't know?
I mean, things get a little wild. I mean, she can be unpredictable. So I think here's a good place to leave him. I don't think anything's going to happen, no.
Well,
Okay.
I will say I don't really want to come back for him, and I don't see why leaving him behind makes him safer. But, yeah.
I did drop a tidbit for you in your Discord chat regarding Fundibéra there.
Thank you.
No, not for Eldrida, for Nefria.
Ah, okay.
Who is actually going to be Fundibéra.
I'm going to say, I don't see anything.
Now, traveling overland. I'm going to milk you guys for... No, wait.
Traveling overland going to be much longer than taking the boat?
Yep. Oh,
There is no boat. He's left.
no,
Oh,
I mean, you could
if-
book a
if we let
passage,
him.
though. If you let him... how would you stop him exactly?
With a hammer.
I guess...
No.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Can't we just hire another boat?
You could.
Okay, cool. Why don't you three pile all your pennies together, and we'll see what kind of boat we can afford.
No, I meant. Oh, okay. Well, I see what you're doing there.
Yes, so getting passage...
Nothing personal. You're just poor.
Getting
I understand.
passage, let's see, yeah, you want to have, what, you want a cabin, on a trade ship?
Sure.
Or just, like a bunk bed, or what are we, a hammock bed in the cargo space?
I mean, Eldrida's fine with whatever's cheapest.
That would be cheaper, yeah.
I'll take the hammock.
Roll
I'm taking a
your
hammock.
wealth. You need 1 success for the hammock, 2 for the cabin.
Each of us?
Yep.
All right. I will roll for a hammock.
Ouch.
3.
Nefria. Neither one of you can. Yeah, Sir Artegue gets a hammock, not a cabin.
Yeah. I was aiming for a hammock in the first place.
Let's see here. You are failing with the purchase roll, which means I'm just gonna. It's
You know,
an excellent moment to learn about all the systems, right?
Shanghaiing that original ship and just replacing the crew with loyalists is a lot cheaper than booking passage.
It really is. I
It
kind of
really
feel
is.
like we should just have the caravel.
Yep. So you have, like, Sir Artegue automatically can succeed with getting a hammock, but would have to roll for the cabin. So, boom. You have a 6 there, which means that the money is enough, and so on. Yeah. Sifanu, you have a 4 and a 3 for a hammock. You can afford it, but just about. So, you would lose 1 step of your wealth, but you can barter. So, and Eldrida can afford it, no problem at all. Heck, she can afford a cabin.
I take the cabin.
Eldrida takes the cabin.
Don't ask me how it happened. I didn't know. I don't know.
So
Roll high. What do you want?
yeah. Roll water to haggle. This is Nefria, definitely.
Wait a minute. Don't I have these, like, can I barter for, like, that, the mirror? The mirror wasn't magic, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, it was magic.
Oh, was it the crown that wasn't?
Yep.
Correct, but you used the crown to convince the dagger that you were royalty.
Oh, God. All right, and if I haggle, then I become destitute, correct?
If you haggle, you will succeed with this business with a 0 degree of success, with 0 crits, which means that your wealth will go down a step, and that's temporarily so. It will go back up again once you show how you earn some new money. Like, play a scene to show how you earn new money.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So then that's 3 for my water, and I could probably throw profanities in there.
When I say
Okay.
negotiating tactic, fuck you, make it cheaper.
Fuck you.
You can do that. I'll take a fate
That
die
is
from
a
you.
negotiating tactic. You are correct.
That'll be
Just bully my way.
6 dice.
And be
Fuck you, that's too much.
I will roll 3 for the... I get 2 successes. What do you get?
keep clicking the wrong buttons. That's 4.
What?
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
That was all
Wow.
successes.
You
3
pay
of them
me
sixes.
to be on your boat.
Right.
Oh my god, could I do that? Could I like have him like, dude, I've got a reputation, like I'm the liberator
Right.
of this island.
Just
you pay
They're
for the
me.
paying
record-
us. They're paying us for protection.
With that
Keep
roll,
us
yes.
safe.
With that roll, yes. Anything
Viewers
goes.
can see
You
all our rolls, but the podcasters can't. So I just want to clarify here. She rolled 4 dice. She had, was it 3 6s, 1 5?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. With
Yeah,
that
okay.
roll,
So if you're listening on this podcast, I don't know what happened, but she took all of Rob's luck and put it in that roll.
yep.
I'm glad someone's getting use out of it.
You are booking passage to Vumbra. This is a piece of cake. What? I just talked to them a bit. It always works like this. What are you talking about?
They're like, do you have any money? And I'm like, no.
Like fuck you, I don't have money. You take care of me, I'm a hero.
Exactly.
All of us.
My charming personality, you know. It's a. What would I say?
Nefria is a bully.
3 days sail,
Yes, she
maybe? 3 days. Yeah, 3 days to sail there. Just about. So yes, Vumbra then. I'm gonna just do a quick time jump. You're sitting on a ship. You're and enjoying the Trinsmyran fall, which is cold. Typical
And I do
weather
wanna
now
be
is.
cognizant of the times, just so you're aware before we head into a whole nother thing.
Yep, I am quite so. The city of Vumbra, I want to describe to particularly Sifanu and Sir Artegue, because you haven't been there, have you?
Negative.
You get to see all of Trinsmyran now, isn't that? Except you don't walk across it, of course. Maybe that's just as good because there's so many Trachorian troops in the Himbergon Mountains. Going through the mountain passes there is really challenging
Yeah,
your luck if you're a freedom fighter.
Yeah. Plus, didn't you say there was another slave mine in Himbergold?
Oh yeah, there's most of the mines up
we
there.
can't let Nefria get near that. That's going to derail us entirely.
Oh, if you let Artegue get within, probably at least 15 miles of that place. Just gonna be like, we're going there now. We're going there. You owe me.
Vumbra is the main, basically the capital of Kark. It is a huge port, and ships coming and going all the time. This is where the Trachorians are shipping out their iron ore and metals. It is absolutely filled to the brim with Trachorian soldiers and mercenaries and their ass-bassed ships. So that thing that worked so well on the Karak with the wildfire is not gonna work here, because those ass-bassed... It's like a carpet or a rug, a weave of a particular weed that grows on Paratorna that is fire resistant. So, they know about wildfire here, the Trachorians. You Trinsmyrans have sunk more than one of their ships using it, and they got wise. So now they address all their ships that go to Vumbra with ass-bassed carpets. That's... It moves slower, but it works to keep the wildfire away. The city itself is very dark and somber, and certainly in the coaling district, where the wooden houses have been impregnated against humidity and pests by just scorching them with sylvolium. But there is music everywhere, just like everywhere else on Trinsmyran. Sifanu, you've been listening to music for more than a month now. Every day, just about. There's always music on Trinsmyran. People singing, people banging pots together, people dancing.
Why are you all so happy?
Dance, dance.
If they keep this up, I'm just gonna slaughter the entire town and raise them as zombies so they won't make noise.
Yep. There's a couple of interesting places in Vumbra, Eldrida, that you would know about. The pub, I suppose. The Bull Skull. People sing a lot, and then the choirs fight each other. The Unplucked Goose, which is a dance place with white wooden wooden choppings on the floor, and that you go there
Chips.
to
Wood chips.
Wood chips, yes. You go there to dance, fight, or make up, basically.
Nice.
And sometimes they even do the saber wave. Is that a good translation? Which is a dance that is the two combatants with a bared chest will stomp around with their hands on the saber, on the hilt, and locked gazes. And this goes quicker and quicker and quicker with the music. And when it stops, both of them will draw their sabers and try to be first with stabbing the other one.
It kind of sounds like what's that where you go around and around for the chair? You know what I'm talking about?
Musical
Except-
chairs.
It sounds like musical chairs, except with weapons. Thank you.
Yep, that's about it.
Very dangerous musical chairs here.
But this is not where you want to stop, I don't think. I think you're heading up to Silver Sound and Gatway's Rock.
I don't know,
because
that place
that is
kinda
where
sounded kind of fun.
Gatway's Rock is where Fundibéra has her home. It's an interesting place. I'm not sure Fundibéra will meet you there, though. She might meet you in Silver Sound instead. Let's say that, because the Gatway's Rock takes a while to describe, let's say. And in the interest of time, it's an interesting place, but she doesn't invite just about anyone there. And if she does invite you, that is definitely an item for a session in itself. So I'm going to say that Fundibéra will meet you outside in a tavern in Silversound, simply because she felt like it. Sometimes she has that kind of whim.
It's good to get him out. It's good to get out amongst the people.
Exactly.
The people. See the plebeians, you know.
Exactly. So what will this meeting be like?
Well, the purpose of this meeting is for me to deliver the magical bits and baubles that I have accumulated, to deliver a full report on the druids of Majura and how I am basically best friends with the head druid, the only druid, and I am bringing her to our cause. So I'll be making a full report, as well as I've got some leftover magic-y stuff. I've got the fragments of the skull that were used up there that was destroyed. I collected those up. And we have a couple other magic-y things that she might be able to help us with. So we'll talk about those, and I'll give her the report and kind of figure out what she wants me to do next.
On my end, I'm going to be, certainly receptive. I'm certainly interested. There are some things with my twin and Shagul, and I definitely want to know what's going on.
Yeah,
What
we'll
happened?
be talking a lot about the Shagulites.
Good.
And apparently the demise of Shagul, because, Sir Artegue.
And we don't have to role-play the whole narrative over again that I run her down with, but I would like to role-play some of it for next time.
Mm-hmm.
Is Kamalkus's lover, was that a man or a woman?
Either way, Kamalkus is happy.
Oh.
In this case, it was in fact a man.
Good man, Kamalkus.
It was a man. Fundibéra will... he always had a special place in his heart for this man, yeah.
Nice. So there's somebody else that the party's going to have to worry about.
I'm wondering if Fundibéra, if Sir Artegue managed to kill Shagul.
But did he really?
I hope.
If
The skull caved in, right?
Didn't we beat her? Didn't we beat her until she turned into a paste on the floor?
Yeah, but then she's just sort of took it, and you'd think that if I don't know, I just don't feel like it's a forever dead. I feel like something's going on there.
So my question to Fundibéra then, since let me rephrase that instead of if, since Sir Artegue managed to cave in the head of Shagul, would that make Sir Artegue a particularly interesting male specimen for Fundibéra to study?
it would. It would.
Well, you get your reporting out of the way there, Eldrida, and then it looks like there will be some experimenting to do.
Oh my god. Please stop sleeping with everybody. Jesus Christ.
I only sleep with people who want to sleep with me. I mean, that's not so bad.
My orgy, and I fuck who I wanna.
Hey, you do you, man. I'm not here to kink shame. You knock it out.
I mean, Fundibéra and I haven't even started getting kinky yet.
Oh my god.
The magic objects that does that include the mirror,
Yeah, we specifically don't have any idea what the mirror, the crown, or really the dagger can do except the dude in it that talks, right? So you guys kind of wanted her advice on that. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, it occurs to me that we could have researched that at the library.
It occurred to us, yeah,
Probably could have checked this black sword in the library too.
Yeah, well.
Good thought, Eldrida.
Well. So do you want me to bring that up to her? Talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then I will. We can show her what we have, and I mean, the silver sword is just a magic undead silver sword that I've been using. I don't think that's too special other than that. But I'll show her pretty much every magic item we have if she's interested.
That will be your scimitar,
yeah,
the dagger, the mirror,
and the crown. The mirror and the crown
is
specifically,
not
we
magical.
have no clue on those.
Crown's not magical.
The
crown's not magical.
No,
Okay.
No, I've just used it as a prop with the dagger because the dagger recognizes it.
Yeah.
Because it is the Kruri crown. You can show her the black sword too. It's not magical, but there's something weird about it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And if
And
you want,
I mean, like,
you can show me your hammer. I
Showing
made that.
Fundibéra the Kruri crown may spark some lore or something.
Sure.
I have sent you
Certainly.
a couple of messages on Zoom there for.
Oh, God.
And certainly,
Oh God, it's so
Fundibéra,
small.
here's my magic hammer. But that's
for
not the
Nefria
real
or for
hammer.
me?
No, for Nefria.
There we go.
Fundibéra, of course, not Nefria.
Sorry.
Interesting. Are we like RPing this now, or should I sit on this, or?
Go ahead. I think that's what was the point here. Steph wanted to have a short scene,
Yeah, we can do that.
or are we sitting on this?
So I show you all the things. I give you the full report. I tell you about
I mean,
the
like,
druids.
I guess like it's 7:05. Let me put it this way: it's 7:05. I don't have a good grounding in the lore, or even
All right. If you
what
want
to
further
do with
briefing,
it. So yeah.
We'll do it next time then.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. The one thing we want to think about, certainly, is what kind of new command that Fundibéra might give Eldrida. But we could postpone that to next time as well, because we're not close to getting Eldrida leveled up just yet. You have crossed off 2 of your experiences so far. You have 2 more to cross off, so it's gonna take a little while. All right. With that, maybe Fundibéra will invite them across the Sound to Gatface Rock, and we'll get to do a scene there. Partying with
I mean-
Kamalkas.
I'll bring the drugs. Sure.
I mean, like I could definitely, I could definitely see Fundibéra because again, like Eldrida is somebody that, she trusted enough to send like across the world to go investigate
Yes.
this obscure magical thing.
This makes sense.
So like I could definitely see like, Fundibéra being like, and then you come back here.
Yep. That
I
makes
invite you
sense.
here, I assign this to you, and then you're coming back here.
And we'll have a party.
Sounds great. Are you? You should dress up for the next
should.
one. You should.
I should. I had
party
these
hat
priests
on.
go try to buy like a supposedly sacred pig or whatever. From
I have a feeling that Eldrida will not be the only one who is a guest there. There might just be, so think here like the Bacants and Sir Artegue and Sifanu will have to walk along, the marked path, because if they walk off it, they might be torn to pieces by wild celebratory women who are enjoying the best time of their life, that kind of thing.
Well, as long as I'm part of somebody's good time.
Yeah, I mean, yes, if you're invited in that capacity, you definitely will be. All right, we will then put a pin on it, pause here, and when we reconvene in 2 weeks, I guess we'll get to see an orgy on Gatface Rock up close and personal. How about that? Rah! I think that sounds awesome. Thanks, everybody, and see you in a couple of weeks, or hear you, or, you know, I don't hear you. You hear me. Anyway, you know what I mean.
You hear them when they give you comments.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
hear
More
them.
comments.
More comments. Exactly. And subscribe.
And join the Discord channel.
Come say hello.
Yeah,
Come
we
say
actually
hello.
we actually do talk there.
We
it's
do
a whole
talk
thing.
there. Yes, it is a whole thing. All right.
All right, guys, have a lovely evening.
Have a good one, y'all.
Bye, everybody.